In a barren desert, the immortal world of the Black Sand Desert trembles. The sound of hurried footsteps pounding on the dirt road causes the chameleon in the desert to turn its head back. Run fast! A pack of monsters is chasing them from afar. An unusual level 3 desert wolf health, 80 attack 20 defense with 3 skills tearing, and the distance between them and the monsters is no longer far. The group is running for their lives while shouting, "I hope someone comes to help. Help someone come save us." The pastor among the 3 spoke up, "We've really had bad luck. Clearly, we were only supposed to hunt level 1 sand scorpions. How did we end up facing a level 3 desert wolf? A level 3 mage, a level 3 pastor, and a level 3 warrior captain, all 3 are in a panic." The warrior points ahead, just a little more. Up ahead, just in time, there are several desert sophora trees. The desert wolf does not know how to climb trees. If we can climb up, there might still be a glimmer of hope. She understands the behavior of these beasts better than anyone. Damn it, desert wolves are inherently vicious. Once they lock onto their prey, they will never let go. They are still trying to run for their lives. We are also injured from the previous battle. The last 2 pieces of black iron equipment on us have just been damaged. Wondering in her heart, could it be that I have to die here today? The mage tripped and fell back. The other 2 looked over at Little Black in a panic. The pack of desert wolves has arrived, and the 2 of them shout even louder, "Little Black, be careful!" She looked back in horror, in despair. A blue light pierced through the desert wolf. The force knocked it down and it fell beside her. Her feet just landed in time. She looked blankly at the shadow of a person. "That's him, save me!" The current level of this person is level 1, which astonished her even more. "A level 1 person," she exclaimed. "A newbie." He pulled down his hood. The strength of the level 3 monster is only this much. The remaining desert wolves rushed over. He brandished his sword and charged forward. The wolves jumped up, and that was when they had to meet their end. The 3 of them witnessed this scene as if they could not believe their eyes. His sword was drenched in blood. The warrior is still observing. He used only a basic iron sword for newbies, but managed to kill 4 desert wolves in succession. Why is the mage just pointing and shouting, "Oh look everyone, other desert wolves are coming in like a pack of wolves"? How could this happen? They were all astonished. Their feet could no longer stand still. Why are there so many wolves appearing? The desert wolves may have recently sensed the smell of blood from their kind. Here the warrior turned around to run. She said to the young man, "Quickly go. This is a pack of desert wolves, powerful enough to slaughter an entire village of newbies. This is not a joke. You will be torn to shreds." He looked over and sneered. "Is that so?" He summoned several green cards. The text appeared, "Player Lam Uyen, are you sure you want to summon the skeleton warrior?" Lam Uyen replied, "Sure." He threw the cards down. They fell to the ground. A bright circle appeared in the air. A white bony hand emerged from the ground. Then a complete figure appeared. Level LV3 skeleton warrior, vitality 100, attack and defense 35. With 5 skills of slaughter, the demon wolf still rushed forward eagerly. He was looking forward to this rematch, so let's see who will be torn to pieces first. Both sides rushed in. He also joined the battle. 15 minutes later, the sword pinned to the body of the demon wolf lay on the ground. Lam Uyen drew his sword. He and the skeleton warriors had won. System notification. You have successfully killed 16 desert demon wolves. Congratulations, you have received 160 experience points received. 16 desert demon wolf teeth received, 16 desert demon wolf fur. After the demon wolves lay scattered, each glowing green circle appeared on the body of each demon wolf. He reached out to collect all of them. The 3 of them hid behind a rock. The warrior exclaimed, "Captain, am I dreaming?" Did he really kill all 12 desert demon wolves by himself? The mage approached Lam Uyen, gently tugging at his sleeve. "May I ask if you are a mage? The magic you just used seems to be summoning right." "I am also a mage, but I have never seen a skill like yours." He turned around. "Who said I was a mage?" He did not answer, just smiled to himself, swinging his sword. "After all, I possess a forbidden profession with an SSS talent." The system board appeared. Player Lam Uyen, level LV2 for professions, necromancer, forbidden talent, dark summoning gateway to the underworld strength, 20 physique, 10 agility, 25 spirit, 30 experience, 159, 237. He told about himself, "My name is Lam Uyen from Lamting, a reincarnated person 3 years ago." A scientist observed a gigantic, mysterious celestial body named Matin suddenly appearing near Lamtin. 3 months later, a mysterious company launched a virtual reality game called Immortal World, surpassing Lamtin's technology, shocking the whole world. When wearing the virtual reality helmet, developed by them to enter Immortal World, humans were divided into different professions and through continuous leveling up could gain enough power to confront monsters in the game. Initially, people did not pay much attention. After all, it was just a game. Until one day some people in the real world also gained abilities like in the game. These people are called Chosen Ones. Since then, a group calling themselves the followers of the Void Evil God emerged from the game into the real world, conducting brutal massacres against humanity. My parents were lost right from the early days of that disaster. Humanity gathered the strength of all the Chosen Ones around the world to rise up and counterattack, but they were continuously defeated by the followers of the Void Demon, having to retreat step by step. I also sacrificed myself in that final battle, but unexpectedly just an hour before I was reborn, back at the moment I first entered the immortal world. Furthermore, this time the system assigned me a forbidden occupation with an SSS talent. The system continued to congratulate me. You have received the unique forbidden occupation Undead Hunter. Your talent is the level SSS Dark Summoning spell, the level SSS Nethergate. But from that moment he was determined this time I must quickly raise my level and strength to protect my family and Lam. He extended his hand towards the corpse of the wolf demon, channeling streams of spiritual energy from their bodies into his hand, not just one, but simultaneously with the corpses of others. The system displayed a prompt: would you like to use the dark summoning spell on the corpse of the desert wolf demon? He answered yes, and they all came back to life. He explained that the greatest feature of this occupation is to help me possess the physique of a warrior, while being able to use the dark summoning spell to summon monster corpses as undead to fight on my behalf. Moreover, these undead monsters not only inherit the level and skills they had when alive, but they also have a new identity. Undead Wolf Demons, level LV3 life, 80 attack 20, with 3 defense skills, corpse manipulation, physical defense and death energy. The corpse inflicts 200% attack damage on the target. The physical undead are immune to fear, toxins, blindness, pain and bleeding. Lam Yun raised his hand, a halo appeared, along with a new skill, Physical Undead, which helps to be immune to some negative effects in combat. As for my other talent, the Nethergate, the blue light penetrated every crevice of the rock face ahead. This talent allows me to store the monsters revived by the dark summoning spell, and the storage capacity will increase with my level. A gigantic gate with skulls and chains appeared. He continued, meaning that as long as my level is high enough, I will possess an unmatched undead army. The female warrior was astonished to witness this scene. Is this reviving dead beings into undead? Who exactly are you? He looked up. Time was running short. A red warning board appeared. Attention, the world boss Titan of Death is about to appear at the Shattered Stone Desert. This was the moment he had been waiting for. It's time to fight the boss. Lightning struck the red sky, causing everyone in battle to look up as the sky seemed to crack, revealing an increasingly larger red fissure. Everyone below was confused. The Titan of Death is coming. Everyone run as far away as possible. I remember the official page mentioned its attack range is up to 50 meters. Hurry, the farther you run, the better save yourselves from the fleeing crowd like a beehive disturbed. A force impacted, causing several unfortunate people to scream in panic, and the crowd hiding behind the rock face was terrified. Some people had already become prey for the monster. The system panel currently displays information: Kulang Tuvong, Lord level LV6, health 2400, attack 360, defense 48, skills Evil Howl, Heart of the Giant Beast, Death's Claw. No, however, there are still people who want to fight Chulang Tuvong, but were stopped by 2 others. No, are you crazy? A player absolutely cannot kill the ancient dragon Death. If you attack, you'll just die. No one could believe that anyone could finish off this monster. This is the world boss, Ancient Dragon Death. Is there really anyone who can kill such a terrifying monster? Another person looked over. Look, what is that person trying to do? That is Lam Uyen walking over carrying an old sword with him. 2 people hiding behind the rock discussed. Look at that sword, is he a newcomer? That's right, the Ancient Dragon Death is a level 6 Lord boss. Without help, even if all of us work together, it wouldn't be enough to fill its gaps. In the immortal world, monsters are ranked from weak to strong, including common elite, leader, lord, king, overlord, and divine levels. Among them, lord-level monsters, although just one of the lower ranks in world bosses, are still a deadly threat to newcomers. Lam Uyen's footsteps stopped. The people hiding behind the rock continuously advised, "Are you crazy? Hurry back. You going up there is just offering your life." He stood in front of the level 6 world boss, facing it without fear. Looking back now, that was all there was to it. The monster seemed angry at his words. It gritted its teeth and opened its mouth, releasing a bright blast. He also drew his sword. The system announced world boss activated skill Evil Dragon Roar. Its strike made him land on the ground just as he stood up. It charged again at the world boss, activating the skill Death's Claw. He held the sword tightly in his hand, thinking about things from his past life. I remember in my previous life, the level 6 Death Wolf, under the enhancement of the boss, had a real health of 300-400 points and an attack power of 510 points. For the explorers in the Shattered Stone Desert at that time, the highest level only reached level 3, indeed relying on group combat to have a chance to fight. As for me back then, I almost lost my life in that group battle, but I in this life after countless bloody battles before have honed my combat skills. I am no longer the person I used to be. At this moment the monster jumped, its claws shattered the ground beneath. Lam Wein swiftly dodged its claws. An observer of the battle couldn't hide his astonishment too fast. The monster opened its mouth wide and jumped over the warning system. Warning. The world boss has entered a state of rage. He smirked, his hand pressed to the ground, a blue sound wave resonated from his hand. The door that appeared earlier, the door that blocked the monster's path, opened. You ordered go, my undead legion. The undead, the werewolf, rush out like a disturbed beehive. A few people near the battlefield stared wide-eyed. So what is that strange door? Are those monsters undead? It looks like a desert werewolf. What desert werewolf? How could that kid turn so many level 3 desert demons into zombies by himself? Lam Wein also charged in with the zombies. On the way here I killed monsters and successfully leveled up to level 3. The time limit for storing the portal to the underworld has also reached 30. Although it made me a little late, it seems the effect is not bad. The desert demon jumped up, using its strength to tear at the flesh of the monster. He explained, according to the hatred mechanism in the immortal world, if the summoner is stronger than the summoned monster, then, when both appear, the monster's first target will be the summoner. Unless the summoned monster actively attacks the monster, only then will the monster change targets. The great wolf waved its hand, causing all of them to be thrown away from itself. The desert demons howled. The beast raised its sharp claws, and Lam Wein realized this was the right moment. Without thinking any further, he jumped up, taking advantage of the hatred mechanism as the boss prepared to attack the summoned creature. Draw its attention to prevent the summoned creature from taking too many casualties. Quick strikes of the sword slashed across the monster's skin, and it roared in anger. He landed on the ground, running away from the beast's pursuit. It swung its hand to try to grab him, but the desert demon seized this opportunity to jump onto it. He continued, when the boss is attracted to the summoner, let the summoned creature attack the monster again to attract hatred once more. Lam Wein paused after a moment of escaping from it. Many ants can kill an elephant. Although each desert demon zombie only inflicts fiend damage at a time, with the great wolf's 300-400 health points, it wouldn't rest for a second. He charged alongside the desert demons. Not holding out for long, those witnessing the battle were amazed at Lam Wein's strength. So strong, yes. This is indeed a world boss at the lord level. Behind two guys exchanged sinister smiles. The figure of Lam Wein soared off the ground, sword in hand, jumping in front of the beast. The system displayed boss health 500. The sword plunged straight into the monster's body, blood splattered, but something surprised him a bit. Critical hit, then boss health 500, 320. The beast howled in anger and fell to the ground. System notification, boss health then in dying state. He observed the monster lying on the ground. Loud footsteps sounded. A group dressed like bandits rushed in, wanting to steal Lam Wein's achievements. Take this chance, kill him. The treasure of the world boss will belong to us. That kid's zombie army has been completely wiped out. Kill, kill. He turned back and one person outside shouted, Hey young man, be careful. His gaze was sharp, and with a single swing of his sword he took down 3 of them at once. Oh, blood flowed onto the sand. They fell down, their eyes rolling back. You are cold and don't know your own strength. The people behind the rock are astonished. What just happened? Instantly he took down those 3 level 3 bandits with just one move. The monster, despite losing strength, still tries to stand up. Lam Wein successfully struck a blow that caused it to perish. A deadly attack. You have defeated the world boss, the Death Wolf, and it has been vanquished. You have successfully eliminated it and received 480 experience points along with a soul stone. A golden light shines down, and you wonder what reward the first world boss in the entire game will give you. The golden light appears, revealing a silver mirror and a green stone. You hold the green soul stone. Its effect is to contain the power of the soul. When collected in sufficient quantity, it can be exchanged at the Eternal Council for legendary level equipment. You think to yourself that players must reach level 60 and visit the Eternal Council, the residence of the elves, to continue leveling up. It's still early, but the Soul Stone is indeed the simplest way to obtain legendary equipment in the immortal world. Equipment levels are categorized from low to high as follows: common white, black steel, bronze, silver, gold, black gold, divine, and legendary. New players usually only have common white equipment and rarely receive black steel equipment. 2 hours ago, based on my experience from my previous life, I controlled 2 warriors to lure the elite black sand lizard away. I was lucky to find a bronze treasure chest that they were guarding. Inside was a black stone magical cloak, a type of bronze equipment. That is the Blackstone Bronze Cloak, a fabric armor with a defense effect of +30 spirit +10 and agility +10. Congratulations, you are the first to defeat the world boss and earn the Hunter title. The Hunter title is a type of title that provides benefits when equipped, increasing attack by 10%, critical hit rate by 10%, and magic damage by 10%. You stroke your chin and look at the announcement board. In the immortal world, different titles can grant players various special attributes or statuses. The Hunter title indeed has a decent enhancement effect. You reach out to open the silver chest. You are the first to defeat the world boss and receive the treasure chest reward X. A brilliant light makes you realize, oh, it's a silver treasure chest filled with many treasures. The silver moonblade, an effective weapon, a sword infused with moonlight energy, +100 attack, +10 agility. The silver death ring, a type of jewelry, has a spirit effect of +40. Level 1 corrosive beam with an accompanying skill deals 200% magic damage as corrosive damage to the target. Recovery potions of this type will immediately restore 20% of health and mana. A level 1 skill scroll is effective. After use, it will increase 100 points of monster essence skill proficiency. The essence is only dropped by strong monsters and can be used to craft potions or consumed directly. After consumption, it will increase 10 points in physical strength, agility, and spirit attributes. Indeed, just as you guessed, a big harvest. The first world boss in the entire game indeed offers a generous reward. You check your backpack, and a notification appears: experience has been calculated, and player data has been updated. You are surrounded by blue light, not bad. From level 3, you advance directly to level 4. Almost full, each level up grants 5 points of freely distributable attributes. This time I put 3 points into spirit and 2 points into strength. Level has increased. Player Lam Uyen level LV for Den Profession, Undead Hunter, Forbidden Innate Skill, Summon Dark Shadow Gate of the Underworld, 40, Strength, 10 Physical, 10 Agility, 25 Spirit, 35 Experience, 52 out of 79. You smile with satisfaction. Very good. After this level up, my attributes are now the highest among players in the Shattered Desert. You look at the system panel. Additionally, although all my undead werewolves perished in this battle, after leveling up, the Gate of the Underworld can now hold up to 40 undead monsters. You stretch out your hand, and a green circle appears, sucking in a few rays of light from the monsters. The system asks if you want to use the Summon Dark Shadow skill on the corpse of the Death Lurker. You reply yes. The monster's eyes open and its legs stand up. Yes, you have resurrected it. Death Lurker level LV6, health 2, 400, attack 360, defense 48. Skills: Evil Howl, Heart of the Ancient Beast, Deathclaw, and Wrath of the Immortal. Evil Howl deals 400% attack damage to surrounding enemies and stuns the target for 5 seconds. Heart of the Ancient Beast grants the owner an additional 1000 health points. Deathclaw grants the owner an additional 150 attack points. Wrath of the Immortal increases attack by 10% and critical hit rate by 20% for allied units. That monster has been resurrected by Lam Uyen. You think to yourself, no wonder it is a world boss. It has both wide area damage skills and extraordinary crowd control abilities. After becoming a zombie, in addition to the undead body skill, there is also a new skill called Wrath of the Immortal. The green door opens. With the help of this zombie Kulang, I can quickly replenish the zombies in the Netherworld Gate. The crowd that witnessed from beginning to end couldn't hide their shivers. They discussed how terrifying. Can he really turn the world boss into his zombie and that strange portal as well? I remember those wolf zombies crawled out from there. This person is even more terrifying than the world boss. Lam Uyen turned to look at those people. Their figures that were present earlier have quickly vanished. He realized that they were still alive. He looked at the sword stuck in the ground. The 3 rogues were killed and dropped a black iron level sword. This is a pretty good weapon for low-level players, but I already have the Silver Moon sword. He took the sword, walking past the rock, startling the people hiding behind it. He is coming here with the sword. He doesn't think about killing us to take our stuff, does he? Can we run away in time? He asked one of them earlier. Are you the one who called everyone? That person was sweating profusely. That Lam Uyen handed the sword to him. Take it. The person's eyes widened. This is Lam Uyen turning around to leave, waving to thank. You might be able to use this. That person was still dazed while his teammates gathered to discuss. No way did he come here just to give a sword? Looking closely, this sword is indeed black iron grade, worth several tens of thousands of yuan. Lam Uyen walked for a while. 10 minutes later, he felt something strange in his body. This feeling is like an electric current running through my body. Lam Uyen returned to the real world. Indeed, out of battery back now. Looking at his current condition, he thought he needed to quickly earn money to buy a new game storage. The computer screen displayed the words Immortal World. This is the game he participated in. The surreal panoramic game, Immortal World, is divided into many login areas by country. In addition, each login area also includes different countries in the game for players to choose from. He took the El Paso area where I am as an example. There are 4 countries: A, Western Ancient Country; B, Southern Empire; C, Northern Empire. He had made a decision to reincarnate. I chose exactly like in the previous life. The place he chose is the Western Ancient Country. He realized because, before dying, I discovered a secret. The chaotic scene of a city on the verge of destruction appeared. Help save me, help, including Lam, Uyen. There is no exception. Help. A black cloak appeared before him, fluttering. Something resembling an eye appeared in the sky along with 3 people wearing different black cloaks. Lam Uyen looked at the golden badge of a person in a black cloak, a golden Magu gem. That is the badge of the Western Ancient Country Guild. Why is there one thing he finds hard to explain? The first follower of the Void Evil God is... He was still pondering that matter. I remember the first follower was a key character in summoning the evil god to Landstar. His eyes narrowed as he thought of this. Now there are 3 years left until the evil god descends. If he could eliminate him during that time, perhaps he could prevent the tragedy from repeating. He recalled the shape of the golden badge. The only clue is that badge. So he thinks of a way only the guild in West Desert City can attach yellow gemstones. The condition to reach the city is to reach level 10. To clarify the background of this old mouse, I must level up quickly. Suddenly he remembered that's right. His hand transformed into a green card. He really summoned the skeleton card. He squeezed the card tightly in his hand. Some players in the Immortal World, as soon as they enter the game, can bring their powers from the game to the real world for use. Such people are called Celestial Candidates. He explained further, Celestial Candidates are also called Fates Chosen. Each Celestial Candidate possesses a powerful hidden profession, and extremely high luck stats being the main fighting force against evil gods. In the final stages of my previous life, I only received the powers of a character in the game when the disaster on Blue Star broke out in the real world, but this time it came much earlier. His pupils shone, his expression full of excitement. It seems that this forbidden profession, Undead Hunter, is indeed not simple. He just didn't know how this differed from Celestial Candidates with hidden professions. He turned to go to the wall clock. That's right, at this time his parents looked at him in surprise. Uyen, it turns out he was wearing an apron and had cooked a sumptuous meal for them. All done, let's eat. His mother patted his father's shoulder. Lao Lam, oh no, do you recognize it? It's rare, it's Uyen's heartfelt gesture. Why not eat quickly? His father complied, okay, but he wasn't in a hurry to sit at the dining table looking at the two of them with a gentle smile. A common characteristic of humans is that only when they lose something do they truly realize its meaning and seek ways to make up for it. In my past life I was dazed, confused, neglecting the warm days. Recalling my previous life, his father once said that if this child continued to be obsessed with games, he would completely ruin himself, but his mother stopped him. Can't you say a little less? Uyen will be unhappy later. A disaster took both of them at once, making him realize how important they were to him. Until the disaster took everything away, I painfully realized the ignorance of the past. Sitting at the dining table, he asked, "Today is Sunday, isn't Xiaodan coming home for dinner?" His mother happily picked up a piece of food, and Dan said that she had to prepare for a mock exam recently, bringing food to school to study. All right, when you have time, bring food to her, okay? Food taken away is never as good as freshly cooked food. She happily ate each bite. Who would have thought Uyen could cook now? This fried chicken is delicious. Lao Lam, don't compete with me. His father gently smiled at her. All right. It's all for you to have your turn. He picked up, but there was only one piece left on the plate. Lam Uyen told him, "In the future I will learn other dishes." This sentence left them stunned, nothing more than tears of emotion. Well, after dinner I'm going outside to train. I also train at home. He wants to better control the strength gained from the game in the real world in the future, needing a strong enough physique as a foundation. He goes to the park to jog, breathing heavily, looking at his watch. 5.5 seconds is not bad, but there's still a lot of potential for improvement. His face is dripping with sweat. It's time to go home. White smoke appears in the sky. Lam Uyen steps out wearing the game's outfit. You have entered the Tuaitak Desert. A dark shadow flies by. A huge creature flies overhead, capturing his attention. A swarm of flying monsters above him. They are Hokhaudir, usually level LV2, with 40 health, 20 attack, 2 defense, and a pecking attack skill. Lam Uyen does not take long to eliminate them. Eliminated Hokhaudir X3 received 15 experience points. The down feathers of Hokhaudir scatter. He glances at their corpses down there, only 15 experience points. Suddenly a blue light emanates from their bodies. The footsteps of the Quilang echo. Lam Uyen thinks that it is indeed one of the favorite prey of the desert, Quilang immediately attracting a large pack of wolves. Thus he opens his water bottle, calmly drinks it all before facing the pack of Quilang, then charges in. The essence of the monster has used the properties +10. Taking this opportunity, let's continue to warm up. He swings his sword, causing several to die. You have successfully eliminated 4 desert Quilang. One jumps in front of him, but with an agile physique, he quickly takes them down. You have successfully eliminated 10 desert Quilang. Lam Uyen descends on the group of Quilang, following the pack, taking quite a bit of time to wipe them out completely. He is surrounded with spiritual energy surrounding his sword. Just in time, this attack is much more effective than the last time. You have successfully eliminated 20 desert Quilang, fresh blood spurting out. You have successfully eliminated 30 desert Quilang. The total harvest this time reached 40. You have successfully eliminated 40 desert Quilang. Thanks to that, Lam Uyen levels up. Congratulations, you have reached level 5. His Ming Realm Gate opens after 2 battles. The number of demon kills in the Ming Realm Gate has been fully replenished. The blue system panel appears. Player Lam Uyen level LV5, profession Necromancer. Forbidden innate talent, dark summoning spell. Ming Realm Gate +5, not exceeding 50 strength, 22 physique, 20 agility, 45 spirit, 48 experience +3, 8 out of 1, 252. Lam Uyen calculates, plus the essence of the monster, increasing 4 main attributes. Now my combat power can solo elite monsters of the same level. The mist clears, he sees the small town not far ahead. So now it's time to look for that person. In the crowded town of Black Sand, Lam Uyen blended into the crowd and stopped in front of a house. He opened the door, and inside was an old drunkard who was mumbling incoherently. The old man asked, "Who is it?" He was QC, the guiding mage in Black Sand Town. Lam Uyen stepped inside and said, "Master QC, I came to learn skills." He thought to himself that in the immortal world, skills are often obtained through skill books dropped from monsters and treasure chests. But besides that, each profession has a corresponding guide for new players responsible for teaching skills. This is my new player guide. In my past life, when I was a mage, the old man Quincy was cheerful, so I would have enough money to drink for half a month. He recalled his fighting form in his previous life. In my past life, I was a necromancer, a forbidden profession. Unfortunately, I know very little information related to this profession. However, in terms of fighting style, it can also be considered a magic-based profession. Therefore, he came here, and before obtaining the unique skills of a necromancer, he should still be able to learn the common skills of a mage. Lam Uyen took out a bag full of silver and said, "I want to learn soulfire magic, healing magic, and stealth magic." The old Quincy hurriedly used magic to take the silver bag from his hands and disappeared without saying a word. Inside, the bag was filled with silver. Well, it's easy to talk when there's money. The old man soberly conjured a bright blue sphere shining on his path. "Young man, keep it up. The glory of the mage will shine brightly on your path." The light shone on him, and the system continuously displayed new skill notifications. 1 level, LV1. Congratulations, the player has acquired 3 profession skills: Mage Soul, Fire Magic, and Black Steel level LV1, causing 100% magical damage to the target, consuming 10 mana cooldown time of 10 seconds, proficiency not exceeding 100. The Healing Magic Black Steel level LV1 is effective, applying healing power to the target, recovering 10% of the target's health, consuming 10 mana cooldown time of 3 minutes, proficiency not exceeding 100. The Stealth Magic Black Steel level LV1 is effective, entering a stealth state lasting 5 seconds, consuming 10 mana cooldown time of 3 minutes, proficiency not exceeding 100. Lam Uyen stroked his chin. The Soulfire magic ensures ranged attack power, while the healing magic can heal himself and his teammates. To learn higher level skills, he needs to find ways to earn more resources. After thinking for a while, he decided on his next destination and continued to set off to level up. The sun had set behind the Black Sand Mountain to the east of Black Sand Town. The blue board announced, "Congratulations, the player has discovered the dog-headed man cave." Lam Uyen remembered the appearance of the dog-headed monsters, which were level 5 monsters living in nearby caves and tunnels. They have a very keen sense of smell, can detect enemies in the dark, prefer to ambush, and are very agile. Their population usually gathers around 100. In terms of quantity or level, the dog-headed people are currently the most suitable monsters for me to level up my undead army. He poured the potion into his mouth that he bought from the NPC merchant half an hour ago. The night vision potion is effective, providing a 3 visibility radius in dark environments, giving players a duration of 30 minutes. Lam Uyen summoned a few zombie wolf demons from the door of the underworld. Besides leveling up, it's also convenient to use these dog-headed people to maximize stealth proficiency and soulfire magic, while also opening a few treasure chests. They followed Lam Uyen holding torches. The regular torch provides a visibility radius of 5 meters and there are quite a few zombie wolves following him. 15 minutes later, Lam Uyen suddenly slowed down on alert. The zombies also stopped in their tracks, not advancing any further. Hearing a noise, he threw the torch far away towards the dog-headed people, hiding behind some large rocks. This action successfully provoked them. The system announced dog-headed miner level 4, LV5 health 120, attack power 30 defense 6 skills mining demolition. This was exactly what he expected. The dog-headed miner appeared. The torch thrown on the ground, Lam Uyen charged forward with the zombies, ordering to kill them, leaving not a single one alive. The dog-headed miners also rushed in as usual. He never fails in battle. He has eliminated 2 dog-headed miners. The battle continued, and the system announced the activation of the demolition skill. He flew up, slicing a few of them in half, and has eliminated 8 dog-headed miners. He gathered some important information. These creatures themselves are not very strong. The important point is to avoid their axes. The monsters charged forward, applying what they observed. He used the stealth skill and activated the stealth skill. The monsters that just rushed in struck the ground with their axes because he had vanished. Suddenly he appeared behind them and said, "Fools, I am here." This time he harvested much more than the last time. He has eliminated 20 dog-headed miners. Lam Uyen landed on a rock. The system announced the effectiveness of the stealth technique Black Steel level LV1. Entering stealth mode lasts 5 seconds, consuming 10 mana cooldown time, 3 minutes proficiency 5 out of 100. He scoffed. The proficiency of the stealth technique has indeed been refreshed. Nevertheless, there is still something that leaves him unsatisfied, but the attributes of these regular dog-headed people are still too weak. Leveling up with them is too slow now. The monsters have turned into zombies as he wished. Regular level, LV5 dog-headed miner zombies health, 120 attack power, 30 defense, 6 skills mining, demolishing the undead body demolition when hitting deals damage not exceeding 5% of the target's health. He ordered them to replace the wolf demon. Let you replace the wolf demon zombies. The goal this time is to quickly find the boss here. Lam Uyen and the dog-headed zombies ventured deeper into the cave. His footsteps stopped because there were many paths above that looked like a beehive. Easy, huh? Suddenly looking up, he discovered the noise and a few unusual holes on the cave ceiling. He unleashed a blue spark and said, "Found you." This time he was able to eliminate the slimy green blobs and defeated Slime Muddick, gaining 4 experience points. Just as he turned to leave, a bright red gaze lit up from deep inside the cave entrance. The final boss revealed itself, jumping up to attack him. The doghead supervisor level LD6 health 350 attack 100 defense 10 has mining and weep skills. But the zombie wolf corpses rushed in to fight to protect Lam Uyen. He thought to himself, throughout history, the strong eat the weak is an unchanging law of survival in nature. As a link in the food chain, the predator is also prey. Danger lurks in every corner with smoke billowing in the cave. Lam Uyen thought to himself, however, predators sometimes appear silently in the guise of prey. His 2 pupils turned bright red. At that moment he caught the whip of the dog-head supervisor swinging towards him. "Got you!" He used all his strength, causing this final boss to lose its momentum, jumped over, and landed hard on the ground. It stood up looking ferocious because it was provoked. A shadow darted past his sword, quickly took the life of the boss, killing the dog-head supervisor in the blink of an eye. Blood gushed out like water, its legs buckled, and it finally fell down. Lam Uyen intended to leave, but the noisy sounds pulled him back. Boom! Another group of monsters rushed out from the cave. Boom! In front of him was a pack of dogheads. A loud red system notification sounded. The supervisor activated a skill whip to the construction site, entering a bloodthirsty state. A bloodthirsty state, increasing attack speed by 40%, movement speed by 25%, lasting for 60 seconds. Their faces were fierce. Despite the large numbers, he remained calm. 40 versus 50, a very promising number, but his side's formation wasn't weak either. He summoned the zombie wolf corpses. "Come out now!" A bright green gaze appeared behind him. The hunt officially began. He extended his hand, commanding the zombies to charge, and the zombies and the dogheads collided with each other. His sword swung out, taking the lives of several monsters. A gigantic zombie wolf howled like a fierce wolf, screaming. The dogheads were stunned by the skill hit by the attack. The dogheads were in a stunned state, low on health. Lam Uyen rushed in. It was at this moment that he raised his sword, commanding the zombie wolves to kill. Green energy flowed from him, sweeping over the dogheads lying unconscious on the ground. The system continuously notified, "You have successfully killed Doghead Supervisor X. You have successfully killed Doghead Supervisor X20. You have successfully killed Doghead Supervisor X10. You successfully killed the Doghead Boss X40. Congratulations, you have leveled up to LV6, but everything is not really over yet." Another monster appears, Elite Doghead Boss. Zombie, LV6 health points, 350 attack, 100 defense, 10 digging skill whip strike. The undead thought they would charge in for a fight, but they quietly retreated into their cave, sneaking away. Lam Uyen didn't want to let the prey escape. Trying to run away, his agile figure flew over, taking care of the group of monsters. "Ask my sword first." He jumped up. The system-notified boss has activated the heavy strike skill. Another monster rushed out with a hammer. It was the Doghead leader level LV7 health points, 1000 attack, 150 defense, 80 digging skill, heavy strike. Lam Uyen landed. "I've been waiting for you for a long time." The Doghead leader swung its hammer, but only hit the rock because Lam Uyen easily dodged its large hammer, which got stuck in the wall. He charged forward with his weapon. This was the moment. But the leader was not easy to deal with. It also knew how to dodge. His sword slashed through, but it felt like cutting into mud. Lam Uyen landed. It was no surprise that the leader's defense was so strong that he couldn't break through. It got angry and used all its strength to pull the hammer out of the rock, shocking him. It swung the hammer down, but he had already moved, avoiding it. It exerted even more force, shattering the ground beneath. Lam Uyen slipped for a moment before steadying himself. Indeed, the attack pattern of the leader monster was not monotonous like the elite monster. This strength was overall at least 2 to 3 times stronger than the elite monster. His hand transformed into blue flames, quickly thinking of a way to counter. First, he widened the distance, ensuring to maintain continuous attacks. He summoned more zombies surrounding the leader and started whipping them. The fierce wolf howled. The leader swung its hammer. He was blinded, showing that the attack was not light at all. Boston had not yet delivered a strong blow. The strong attack activated double critical damage. Lam Uyen extended his hand, issuing commands. The zombie horde charged at the leader. The largest zombie activated the skill Wrath of the Immortal, increasing attack by 10% and critical hit rate by 20%. After activating the skill, the zombies became even more enthusiastic in biting and tearing, dealing 150 damage. Wrath of the Immortal increased attack by 10% and critical hit rate by 20%. A green light surrounded the leader, and Lam Uyen transformed into several green souls, activating the skill Soul Fire Magic. The Soul Fire Magic flew towards the leader. The Doghead, surrounded by green magic, was powerless and could only scream. He thought if he remembered correctly, the Doghead leader had very low magic resistance, 20 to 30. It screamed, roaring. The leader ran towards Lam Uyen. He stood still, as if waiting for it to come, wearing a smug smile, activating the stealth skill. He flew up. "If you insist on coming to the door yourself, then I won't hold back anymore." Flying to the blind spot of the leader, it's right here, the part of the flesh without armor. A sword pierced deep into the back of the leader's neck, fresh blood gushing out. He withdrew his sword. It was furious, and he flew away after dealing it a devastating blow. Lam Uyen snapped his fingers. The nimble steps of the zombies rushed over. He grabbed the fur, climbing onto the back of the pack leader wolf. Many wolves came together to tear apart the leader. The dog-headed man has breached the armor. Fire spells shot out from his hands. The next move, a fire spell aimed straight at the leader. Not a single miss-killing blow, 30, 40. Each fire spell enveloped it. It could only howl in pain. Grrr, 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 grrr. Many monsters, the dog-headed man wielding a scythe, rushed out. Grrr, 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 grrr. Lam Uyen said to the system, struggling before death. The pack of zombie wolves helped him hunt many of these monsters. You have successfully killed the dog-headed miner X15. You have successfully killed the dog-headed supervisor X10. You have successfully killed the dog-headed miner X20. You have successfully killed the dog-headed miner X35. A monster ran back toward the cave entrance, but Lam Uyen was already there waiting. He drew the sword strapped to his hip, wanting to run, one hand tightly gripping the sword to keep his life. Before him leaped, launching an attack so fast it couldn't be seen. The monster howled in pain before collapsing. You have successfully killed the head of a dog-headed man, experience plus 50. You have successfully killed the head of a dog-headed man, experience plus 50. Not only did he gain points, but Lam Uyen also leveled up. Congratulations, you have leveled up to level 7. He satisfiedly observed the blue panel in front of him. Level 7 is great. Player Lam Uyen, level V7, occupation Necromancer, forbidden talent, dark summoning spell. Minje Gate Duo, not above 70. Strength 27, physique 23, speed 45, spirit 50, experience 68 out of 2, 745. His goal is about to be achieved, one step closer to level 10 to reach the Western capital. 2 blue panels appeared at the same time, and regarding the stealth spell and soulfire spell, the proficiency has also been raised to level 2. Double effect. Black Iron, stealth spell level, LV2 effect. Duration of invisibility lasts 10 seconds. Mana cost 10, cooldown 3 minutes, proficiency 10 out of 200. A Black Iron Soulfire spell level LV2 effect. Deals magic damage to the target, X2 not 0%. Mana cost 10, cooldown 10 seconds, proficiency 20 out of 200. The noise caught his attention. A yang doll appeared on the corpse of the monster, which is Yang Cheng Dong. He opened the yang, containing many rewards, and received a dog leather pouch, so it was immortal, a haunting power set. Opening the dog leather bag, you receive 20 gold coins. Based on memories from the past life, you calculate that soon major global banks will open channels for money circulation between the game world and reality. Physical strength plus dent. 20 gold coins converted to cash is also 200,000, not bad. The set is comparable to the body strength of the dog-headed gang leader. An item, a candle shaped like a ferocious beast head, has the effect of an eternal candle, providing visibility within a 3-meter radius for players in a dark environment without time restrictions. The LV rank last year had 2 leading names. Another item is a skeletal mask of a bronze weapon type, which reduces physical damage by 5% and adds 10 strength after wearing. What guild would dare to jump in front of us? The game widely announces that the world boss Deathwolf has been killed by player Lam Uyen. Everyone is astonished. What? Faiho only thinks Lam Uyen is lucky, not knowing what luck that guy has. If I meet him, let's see if I don't give him a taste of his own medicine. The guild leader thinks things through and stops him. Faiho has said many times already, don't act rashly. You guys keep moving. Lam Uyen's strength is not ordinary. Instead of opposing him, why not pull him to fight for us? Yes, the guild leader will go gather information. I remember there's a dog-headed instance dungeon recently. I'll go confirm the location first. You all stay here and wait for the order to recover stamina. The underling responds affirmatively. Faiho is still angry, brother, because that wild dog has cursed me 3 times already. Damn it, so spicy, he loudly vents his anger. After the guild leader leaves, Lam Uyen waits there. One day I will pull out all your dog's teeth in front of my brother and chop off your dog's head to show him who the real strong one is. The underling looks infatuated like a dog seeing a bone. The vice president shouldn't be angry over something unworthy. What is that he also looks over? What a beautiful woman is walking over. The group of men shows wicked expressions. Lam Uyen steps out of the cave after wiping out the group of monsters. The game announces the zombie boss dog head level LV7 with 1000 life, 150 attack, 80 defense skills, dig zombie body, heavy strike. Heavy strike when hit deals 200% of the attack stat as damage to the target's life with a 10% chance to crit. You are satisfied with this performance, having added another zombie boss with considerable combat power. The number of zombies in the underworld has also been increased to 70. Continue to maintain this pace. Suddenly a female voice rings out, don't come over here. The girl from earlier has probably run into trouble with the Blood Demon Society. Her expression is fearful, weakly gripping the spear. Don't come over here or I won't be polite. 3 guys block 3 directions looking at her with lustful eyes. One guy said, this is great, I didn't expect to run into such a cute girl today. Fihu, the leader, grinned maliciously. Don't worry, we're just playing with you. Compared to suffering, it's better to just enjoy. The henchman added, that's right, as long as we satisfy our vice president, there will be many benefits. The girl swung her spear. If you come any closer, I won't be polite anymore. But with the strength of a man, he kicked once and the spear flew far away. Let's see who is impolite. She fell down, he grabbed her hair. A useless sorceress. Do you think you can hurt us? Fihu pinned her down. Don't be naive. If you don't give up, then just keep trying. He stuck out his tongue. She dodged with all her strength. Come here, keep going. The more she resisted, the more excited I became. He tore her clothes, but when he was about to act, a hand punched him hard in the face. It was a hand wearing an iron glove. The force sent Fihu flying. The henchmen were terrified. Vice President Fihu slid away, scraping part of the ground, losing a few teeth. His body stuck to the cliff. Lam Uyen tested the iron gloves. The effect was not bad, more convenient than expected. One henchman ran off to report, this is bad, we need to find a way to inform the president. Only 2 remained. They asked, hey, who are you to offend the Blood Crow Guild? You're dead for sure. In response to the threat, Lam Uyen calmly looked at the badge on their chests. The Blood Crow Guild, in its early stages, is the top guild of the new player village in Black Sand Town. He understood this guild well. Most of the guild members are red-named players known for doing evil deeds. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. The so-called red-named players are those whose criminal acts such as malicious attacks, theft, robbery, etc. are identified by the system as dangerous players with a crime score of 10 or more. Although the love god has not yet invaded, being defeated in the game will not cause real death in real life, but losing equipment and decreasing levels will still impose significant losses on players. After a moment of silence, Lam Uyen asked, are you members of the Blood Crow Guild? He recalled in his previous life, these rats had caused me a lot of trouble already. The 2 henchmen looked at each other. The bald guy thought, you are scared now, right? That's right, it's the #1 guild famous throughout Black Gia Town. You have offended our vice president, now you know fear, don't you? He rubbed his arm. It's too late, but if you don't want to die too tragically, he means for you to self-harm both of your arms. You break both your arms and kneel like a dog, calling out grandpa a few times. Have these two idiots ever met Lam Uyen? Waiting for them to bark more, he swung his sword, causing both to lose an arm, blood gushing like a river. Both collapsed screaming, "Ugh, ah, 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 ah." Lam Uyen seemed to grant mercy. I've helped you collect your arms. Your barking can be left for the trip to the underworld. The girls stared in amazement. So strong, two blood tigers witnessed it but remained stuck on the cliff, their hands trembling. Next to him was a bottle of water. You have used the life recovery water, restoring 20% of health and magic power. He reached for the bottle. Ha, kid, you are full of murderous intent. He stepped forward. You have to die. Suddenly, two angry voices came from behind. I want to see who has the guts to provoke us without wanting to live anymore. The president was in front. Reflexively, Lam Uyen turned his head to look back. One guy pointed at him and shouted, "It's this little brat." Almost killed the vice president. The man beside him seemed to sense something unusual, his face suddenly pale. Wait! In his heart he silently assessed Lam Uyen's gaze, cold and dignified, like the icy moonlight, sharp like a steel blade capable of slicing through any obstacle. The image of the person in front was terrifying, with red eyes like a demon exuding an overwhelming aura. Just standing there, he made others feel breathless. The henchman shouted, "President, give this kid some color. Let's see what blind dog dares to provoke us." Damn it, are you tired of living? Just wait to die? President Blood Black gritted his teeth, filled with fear. Damn it, this aura combined with the sword could very well be an item dropped from a boss-level monster. This guy is probably Lam Uyen. He stood still, letting the stupid henchman cheer silently, lamenting that these fools had chosen the wrong person to provoke, truly asking for trouble. Opposite him, Lam Uyen spoke. You are the leader of the Blood Lake Guild. The president began to consider his dignity could not be lost. It seemed today's battle was unavoidable. His gaze gradually became resolute, looking straight ahead. Suddenly from behind a shadow rushed in at a terrifying speed. The sorceress from earlier warned with a trembling voice, "Watch out behind you." The blood tiger, with overwhelming murderous intent, thrust the sword towards Lam Uyen. His face twisted with anger. "Die for me, die." The president did not stand still, acting immediately. "You kid, opposing our Blood Black Guild is the most foolish decision of your life." Under the attack from both sides, Lam Uyen remained calm like a still lake standing still. Suddenly the president witnessed an unbelievable sight. From the void, a burly figure of a monster appeared holding a gigantic hammer. In an instant it grinned, a terrifying grin like a demon from hell. That gigantic weapon swung down. The blood tiger could only grind his teeth in helplessness, being knocked away. On this side, moving like lightning, Lam Uyen appeared in front of the president, his gaze sharp. The sword pointed straight, ready to attack at any moment. "You are next!" The president was panicked by this scene, his face pale, mouth agape. Right after, a sharp sword from Lam Uyen slashed straight through his burly body. The scene before him was devastating. The opponent lost the ability to fight instantly, his eyes rolled back, devoid of life. Lam Uyen coldly said, "The First Attack Guild doesn't even have the qualifications for me to take them seriously." The system sounded an alert. Checking revealed that you had killed a human player. Crime index increased by 2 points. Hearing the notification, he silently calculated 2 points. As long as I don't continue to accumulate within a week, they will automatically disappear. The remaining people panicked and scattered like prey being hunted. The sorceress from earlier spoke up. "Not good, they are running away, we need to chase after them." "No," Lam Uyen still maintained his calm demeanor from start to finish. "Just some small fry, no need to kill." The name Fa Ho gradually faded away and items fell scattered everywhere. Violent government buying gun. An effective weapon type hits the target, releases a strong explosion, causing area damage to the target and surrounding enemies. Attack, plus 40 points strength, plus 30 points dragon tooth, 10 self-absorber. Buying gun, a type of weapon with 1 effectiveness. Hits, the target releases. Fire will cling to the target, causing continuous burning damage. Speed, plus 30 points. Attack, plus 40 points. Thorndust, a bronze weapon type, attack effectiveness, plus 15 points. Speed, plus 20 points. Lam Uyen stroked his chin. The attributes were not bad, even if unused. They could still be sold for a good price. Suddenly light footsteps approached the sorceress from earlier. Her face, blushing shyly, spoke, "Great God, thank you for saving me today. I still don't know your name." Her body leaned closer, making Lam Uyen feel a bit awkward, taking a step back. Suddenly he turned around abruptly. A smug expression crossed his face, saying, "One day you will see my name on the top 10 global power rankings." The girl was puzzled, unable to grasp what he said. top 10. Then she shouted loudly, running after him while calling, "Who wants to see that torn ranking anyway? Great God, please take me with you." Under the scorching sun of the desert, Ihao Lam Uyen stood tall amidst the endless sea of sand. His sharp gaze swept through the space. From afar, a monstrous figure glided through the sand, followed by dozens of giant scorpions rising from the ground, all charging to attack. The system coldly announced, "Ihao Scorpion Common Level 16 Life, 400 Attack, 110 Defense, 20 Skill, Thunder Strike, Paralyze." Without any hesitation, Lam Uyen prepared. The blade in his hand glimmered. In an instant, he swung his sword as fast as lightning, cleaving the scorpions in front of him. Without stopping, he executed his skill, swiftly eliminating the remaining monsters. The system continued to announce, "This area has eliminated a total of 60 Ihao Scorpions, level increased to level 8. Wiping the long sweat bead rolling down his forehead, Lam Uyen smiled faintly, thinking, "Level 8 now, not bad." Although collecting paralysis grass was somewhat troublesome, this result was clearly an unexpected harvest. He suddenly recalled 2 days earlier, when he faced the seasoned Kim Su-imor. The man looked up. His eyes, as cold as ice, stared at him and spoke, "Brave hero, I finally waited for you." At that moment, the system interrupted, detecting a quest commission from alchemist Su-imor. Accept. Lam Uyen strokes his chin, skimming through the mission details. Imor's request asks him to go to the Ihao Desert to collect 100 paralyzed herbs and deliver them to him. The deadline for the mission is 1 day, and the mission level is Black Iron. Paralyzed herbs, a type of herb with lightning properties, grow scattered throughout the harsh desert. He ponders about a special dungeon that is about to open in the main city, which has a high difficulty level and is filled with lightning attribute monsters. To overcome the lightning resistance, one must be extremely strong. Lam Uyen speculates that the strong electric resistance medicine which can counteract lightning attacks will become scarce, its value possibly exceeding that of an all-purpose item. In his previous life, someone became very wealthy thanks to this medicine. If he completes the mission to collect the paralyzed herbs this time, he will receive the formula for producing highly effective electric resistance medicine. Glancing, Lam Uyen considers that today is the first day he has appeared in Etsa after receiving this mission. Imor will retreat permanently. In other words, this is the only opportunity to possess the valuable formula. Without further hesitation, he presses the button on the system interface. As the memories close, Lam Uyen returns to reality, leisurely taking down each scorpion of the lightning beast level 6, guarding the area. The paralyzed herbs pose no difficulty for him. Successfully completing the mission, he also takes the opportunity to practice the newly learned gathering skill to perfection. Approaching a patch of paralyzed herbs growing in the desert, Lam Uyen skillfully reaches out to pick them. The system immediately announces the gathering of Black Iron technique, level 2, increasing gathering speed by 15%, with a chance to collect rare quality herbs consuming 1 point of spirit and a cooldown time of 3 seconds, with proficiency at 120 out of 200. The parts of Black Iron are quickly retrieved by the system. Standing amidst the swirling sandstorm, Lam Uyen decides to venture deeper into the desert to search for more, but just as he steps forward, the ground shakes violently, causing him to hesitate. A massive monster suddenly rises from the ground, accompanied by a cloud of dust covering the entire space. It charges straight at him without hesitation. Lam Uyen immediately uses the skill Silver Moon Blade Slash, quickly retreating to create distance. He slightly furrows his brow, observing the monster in front of him. The system continuously warns, "Mutated scorpion monster appears. Danger, danger, danger." Lam Uyen becomes even more alert, backing away further. He did not expect a mutated beast to appear in this place. The system provides information: level 10 Assassin Scorpion Health, 800 Attack, 400 Defense, 55 Skills, Paralysis, Lightning Strike, Piercing, Poison, Explosive, Clamp, Earth, / Lightning, Violent, Gem. He slightly smirks, a smile reflecting excitement, then speaks. Under the blazing desert sky, Lam Uyen faces the Assassin Scorpion, his gaze shining with determination. Although this monster is a tough challenge, he is still full of confidence as he charges into battle with unstoppable momentum. "Although it's a bit difficult to handle right now today, I will use you to officially sharpen the Silver Moon Blade Slash." He swings his sword, executing the Silver Moon Blade Slash, but the thick armor of the scorpion is too hard. Each strike cannot even leave a scratch. Standing on the back of the monster, Lam Uyen clicked his tongue, observing the tightly fitting armor with no gaps. This armor has no weak points to break. Suddenly, the scorpion assassin startled and unleashed a brilliant stream of lightning. The system immediately warned that the boss was using the paralyzing lightning strike skill. Lam Uyen planted his sword into the ground, trying to steady himself against the electric shock. He frowned in surprise at the power of the lightning strike. The scorpion did not stop launching its sharp tail at him with terrifying speed. The system echoed again. The boss was using the penetrating poison skill. Realizing the unfavorable situation, Lam Uyen quickly jumped off its back, dodging the vicious attack as the scorpion continued to unleash lightning strikes. The flash of electricity lit up the line between life and death. But watching the monster, Lam Uyen squinted in astonishment, secretly assessing its strength far beyond his expectations. First, I need to disperse the fighting force. Thinking that, he immediately took a stance ready to respond to every movement of the scorpion. He whispered, "Doghead people." And as soon as the words ended, a pack of doghead people appeared, surrounding the monster with an aggressive aura. 16 doghead people were summoned and immediately charged into battle, using normal attacks to confront the scorpion assassin. Lam Uyen frowned, muttering, "The double crit has not been activated." Just then the system announced the boss was using the earth-shattering roar skill, knocking the dog-head people away as the ground trembled, dust and sand obscuring the entire space. Suddenly 3 or 4 brilliant fireballs tore through the air, each hitting parts of the scorpion assassin, causing it to scream in pain. Lam Uyen shouted loudly, "Taste the power of my upgraded fire magic." He continued to launch more fireballs, causing the monster's vitality to drop, a smirk appearing on his lips. But at that moment, the giant pincers of the scorpion suddenly tightened. The doghead people worked together seamlessly, using ropes to restrain it, making the monster howl violently. One doghead person holding a stone hammer jumped high, putting all their strength into a powerful blow to the scorpion's head. Lam Uyen excitedly shouted, "Double crit appears." Then the system confirmed the heavy hit, activating the double crit. Provoked, the scorpion's assassin thrashed wildly, screaming fiercely. A thunderous explosion echoed, dust and sand flying across the desert. Lam Uyen jumped high, seizing the opportunity as the monster weakened. He tightened his fists, his gaze cold. "If there are no gaps to break the armor, then I'll smash your whole body and turn you into a pile of ruins." Preparing for a powerful punch, he aimed straight down at the scorpion's head, accompanied by a shout, "Shatter to pieces." The tough armor shattered into pieces, and the monster opened its mouth to scream before collapsing. Afterwards, Lam Uyen leaned on his sword, landing on the ground. Hearing the system notify him, "You have successfully defeated the mutated monster, the scorpion assassin." The system then added, "You have received 560 experience points from the scorpion assassin. Level 10, Vitality 2, 800, Attack 400, Defense, 55 Paralysis skill, Lightning Strike attack with a 1-second paralysis effect, penetrating poison tail attack with 10 points of poison damage. The immobilized scorpion after being hit causes damage of 250%. The system also reports the detection of a player equipped with the title Destroyer of the Sun, increasing attack power by 10%, critical hit rate by 10%, and magical damage by 10%. 6 glass thunder skillers explode, sharp crystal shards shoot out in all directions, dealing damage equal to 100% attack power to all targets within a 30-degree range simultaneously. A strong shock shakes the desert, bringing forth aggressive desert scorpions rising up from the dust. Lam Uyen glances around, standing tall beside the corpse of the elite scorpion, coldly observing the monsters charging in from all directions. They surround him, eyes gleaming with a fierce light, aiming straight at their prey. Lam Uyen raises an eyebrow. His voice dropping just at the right moment, he commands decisively, "Let the elite scorpion I just captured go so I can play with my newly captured pet a little." The system announces the immediate use of the glass thunder skill. The desert scorpions scream in agony from the strong electric shock. Taking advantage of the situation, Lam Uyen swings his sword forward, the sharp blade slicing through the air, each strike hitting a weak point. The system continuously announces, "Hit a weak point, you hit a weak point." His sword easily pierces through the shells of the scorpions. When they are all eliminated, the system rings out, "Level up, level up." Then it congratulates, "Congratulations player Lam Uyen for reaching level 10, a profession of necromancer. Skill level of Sky Knight, innate ability to summon darkness, portal to the underworld, 20 out of 100 strength, 32 physique, 28 agility, 47 spirit, 53 experience, 152 out of 5, 159. Lam Uyen smirks with satisfaction at the feeling of leveling up twice. The system continues to distribute rewards, receiving the silver level weapon, Thunder Spear, Paralysis Shield Boots, and Shadow Bow. These items make him smile, slightly calculating in his mind. The loot, consisting entirely of silver level weapons, will surely improve life if sold. For his parents, he coldly walks past the pile of scorpion corpses, his gaze sweeping over the battlefield. The system announces that all monsters in the area have been eliminated. Suddenly a brilliant light flashes. The system congratulates, "Congratulations, you have received a gold level skill book exclusively for necromancers." Lam Uyen stares at his glowing hands. A skill book appears, radiating dazzling light. System information. Always pure gold, darkness, learning conditions only for necromancers. He touches the cover of the book, secretly admiring his luck today. When opening the book, a brilliant light surges powerfully. The system announces the skill book is automatically memorized into the player's memory. A brilliant beam of light shines directly on Lam Uyen, causing the ground to shake slightly. The system continues to congratulate the player has received the exclusive skill Necromancer Thunder Darkness Level 1. Effect causes 20% damage to the target's life force or restores 20% life force to corpses, consumes 100 mana, cooldown time, 10 seconds, proficiency not exceeding 100. A green flame ignites in Lam Uyen's hand. He observes, seriously murmuring, restores 20% life value to the undead. The flame gradually turns murky. His sharp gaze glanced back. In front of him, a giant scorpion with a rough green body covered in sharp scales lay motionless on the sand. It opened its mouth full of sharp teeth, and the blood column on its head showed 60% vitality remaining. Lam Uyen waved his hand, and the green flame shot towards the monster, determined to test it. He observed the scorpion, and suddenly it sat up, its head surrounded by a green light ring. Its eyes widened, a flash of green light flickered. The monster roared, and its whole body sprang up. The system announced vitality restored to 80%. A figure cloaked in black briefly appeared in Lam Uyen's mind. Withdrawing his hand, the flame gradually extinguished. He smiled, his voice full of confidence. The startup is over. It's time to head to the main city. Let's go find that first believer. In that moment of distraction, a plume of black smoke silently gathered behind Lam Uyen, transforming into a pitch-black hand, gripping his shoulder tightly. Startled, he quickly turned back with a wary gaze. Wait, could it be that the space in front of him was changing? Revealing a flickering green electronic network with each data cell gradually fading away, disappearing. Lam Uyen cautiously removed his iron helmet, astonished to find his mother standing there. Her face worried, patting his shoulder and calling, "It's not good, Uyen, Uyen. Dad has just hurt his back, come here and help him." His dad hurriedly stepped up gently, helping him sit down in a chair. His voice steady, "Dad, take it slow." Lam Uyen's father had a pale face, lying back on the chair with heavy breaths. His mother was rubbing his back while scolding, "You're getting old. Why are you still trying to do this? Why didn't you fix the air conditioner more carefully? Wouldn't it be better to call someone to do it? Now look, you've really hurt your back, haven't you?" Despite being tired, his dad still forced himself to retort, "If you can save, just save. Last week my washing machine broke down. Didn't I just fix it simply and it was done?" He tilted his head, his voice still firm. "This little injury is nothing. Just sleep it off, and it will be fine. I still have to go to school to pick up little Dan tomorrow." Lam Uyen overheard this, gently pulled the door, his gaze darkened, his heart filled with contemplation. The next morning, the sky was clear and bright sunlight shone on the towering skyscrapers. The loud noise outside woke Lam Uyen's parents from their sleep. The two yawned widely, their eyes still bleary as they stepped outside. His mother asked, "Uyen, Uyen, why are you making such a racket so early in the morning?" But before she could finish, both were stunned by the scene before them. From the furniture, the TV, to the household appliances, everything had been completely replaced, shining bright. But while the two were still in shock, an installation worker cheerfully stepped forward, shaking Mrs. Lam Uyen's hand, causing both to jump. He happily said, "May I ask if you are Mr. Lam and Mrs. Lam? The new products that young Lam Uyen ordered have been quickly brought here for installation. Please confirm and inspect for us." After saying this, he turned away to continue directing his team of workers. Mrs. Lam Uyen, with a skeptical expression, picked up the phone and called, "Hello, Mr. Lam, am I dreaming or what? What's going on here?" He is in another corner under the admiring gaze of the crowd, especially the girls. Lam Uyen seems to be unconcerned. He focuses on doing sit-ups and then moves to the treadmill. Suddenly a voice from behind interrupts. A pretty staff member in uniform smiles and approaches. "Excuse me, would you like to sign up for the VIP package? We need to hold a deposit for 1 year." Lam Uyen stops the machine, hands her a card and calmly says, "This is my bank card." Inside, he silently calculates selling a few unused items, renovating the house, and also getting a gym membership for the family. Thinking about his parents and little Dan, his gaze slightly darkens. After all, they should start exercising early so that later when they enter a state of immortality, they will adapt more easily. The staff member receives the card, her cheeks flushes, and she secretly admires. He's been working out for so long, yet his face isn't red. He isn't out of breath. His figure is perfect. With an older brother like this, it's truly admirable. Suddenly her eyes widen in surprise as she looks at the black card in her hand, stammering, "The Supreme VIP card is only issued with more than 5,000 deposited in the bank." "Hello?" Lam Uyen doesn't care, bows his head to wipe his sweat and gently answers the phone. "Hello, yes, that is a bonus from the previous game competition. Yes. Today you two just stay home and rest. I'll take care of little Dan's matters." The staff member carefully checks the card, her cheeks redder, thinking, so young yet so capable. Standing in front of Tutui High School, Lam Uyen still maintains a cold demeanor, but a warm feeling rises in his heart when he thinks of his family. A stream of students pours out of Tutui High School, some hugging each other, laughing and joking, while others quietly walk alone. The noisy chatter echoes all around. School's out. Let's go. Let's go to the net cafe next door to form a team for a match. An excited voice calls out, hey, what about me? A girl with blonde hair and a cute bow on her head leisurely walks down the steps. Lam Dan, with golden orange eyes reflecting a thoughtful look, has a face somewhat resembling Lam Uyen, gently grips the strap of her backpack. Her gaze downcast behind her, two friends chatter animatedly. The girl with a ponytail excitedly says, wait, today I'm hosting a birthday party at my house. Brother, I'm buying the strawberry cake that I like the most. The friend next to her exclaims, having such a good older brother is so enviable. I also want to have an older brother. Lam Dan walks ahead, her eyes half closed, thinking, is having an older brother really something to admire? Images of Lam Uyen's messy lifestyle and gaming addiction flash through her mind. She tightens the strap of her backpack, looking displeased, and quickens her pace. I don't need an older brother. Suddenly a figure blocks her path. A teasing voice sounds with a sly tone. Lam, the school beauty, is so proud. A buzzcut guy smirks, his eyes showing no goodwill. From a distance, a long-haired guy with his arms crossed, followed by two others, speaks as if giving orders. What else could it be this time? I'm personally here to invite you. Don't you have any respect? Lam Dan immediately glared, her voice sharp. What do you want to do? The girl behind anxiously asked the class monitor, who are they? The girl wearing glasses also frowned, showing her discomfort. Suddenly a thug reached out to touch Lam Dan, his tone disgusting. With such smooth skin, let me see if I can squeeze some juice out of you. Lam Dan angrily slapped his hand away, shouting loudly, damn it, don't touch me, get lost. And she turned around, pointing to warn, if you keep following me, I will call the police. The leader of the gang got angry, swinging his fist towards her. Damn it, what an ungrateful brat. Lam Dan didn't have time to react, got hit and fell to the ground, letting out a soft cry of pain. The two girls behind were panicked, calling for the class monitor. The thug remained aggressive, continuing to raise his hand, snarling insults. Touching you is showing you respect. What are you pretending to be noble for? Lam Dan closed her eyes, tightly raising her hands to shield herself. But a strong arm suddenly appeared, blocking his fist. Lam Dan opened her eyes, astonished to see Lam Uyen gripping the thug's hand tightly, his gaze cold with murderous intent. He growled, who allowed you to bully my sister? Lam Dan exclaimed in shock. Lam Uyen. He still maintained a cold expression, waiting for an answer from the thug, but the thug was unafraid, still acting tough. Damn it, where did this wild dog come from? The other two thugs charged in, aggressively growling. Today, if I don't knock all your teeth out, then I don't know how to die, right? The thug being held by Lam Uyen struggled, using his other hand to fight back. Stop talking, break his arm first. But Lam Uyen simply turned, gently dodging the blow from the red-headed thug while throwing a punch that hit the fat guy's mouth. With the thug being restrained, he straightened his leg, delivering a knee strike that sent the thug flying like a kite with a severed string. The fat thug, who got punched, still struggled to stand, but Lam Uyen immediately pivoted his leg, delivering a kick right to his thinking apparatus. Not stopping, he continued to stomp hard on the avatar of the thug who had just insulted him. Lam Dan, with eyes as cold as ice, with unwavering strength, Lam Uyen delivered another blow, causing the ground beneath his feet to sweat. The unfortunate thug could only hold his face, moaning. Even his parents would have a hard time recognizing him. In the blink of an eye, all three thugs were beaten up by him, lying scattered on the ground, screaming pitifully, under the astonished and admiring eyes of the surrounding students. Lam Uyen stood there, proudly, his aura overwhelming. After finishing, he turned to Lam Dan, his voice steady. Let's go. Lam Dan and her two friends were still stunned, their eyes wide mouths agape. She hurriedly ran after him, nervously asking, why did you come here today? Deep down she wondered, this guy who only knows how to bury himself in games. Why did he come to school to pick me up today? Lam Uyen calmly replied, Dad has a backache, Mom is at home taking care of him. Lam Dan was startled, worriedly asking, is it serious? He gently reassured her, it's not too serious. Both fell silent, the atmosphere slightly awkward. Lam Dan nervously thought to herself, it's been a long time since I talked to him like this, so embarrassing. Lam Uyen still maintained a cold expression, showing no change in her face. Two of Lam Dan's friends waved their hands, calling the class monitor. Class monitor. The glasses-wearing friend whispered enviously, your class monitor is so nice, he even came to pick you up, unlike my brother, that lazy guy. The other friend excitedly chimed in, that's right, so you have a brother who is both handsome and capable. How come I've never heard you mention him before? Lam Dan paused, thinking, handsome, this guy? The group of students around began to murmur. Lam Uyen exclaimed, wow, who is he? So handsome. He seems to be an alumnus returning to school looking much more stylish than the boys here. Lam Dan observed and suddenly realized, oh, he is really famous. A girl with pink hair shyly walked over to wave at him. Lam Uyen responded kindly, hello. Lam Dan watched nodding as she assessed his height, quite impressive. I never noticed before, probably because I rarely stood close. She stared blankly at his back, thinking, he must have been working out for a long time, those muscles are quite obvious. Just fighting so fiercely like that, really surprising. She recalled the old Lam Uyen, always withdrawn from society, only focusing on games and neglecting himself. She wondered, why has he changed so much all of a sudden? The two friends waved cheerfully before leaving. See you tomorrow? Lam Dan replied, see you tomorrow. Just as she turned her head, she suddenly froze at the sight before her. Amid the cheers of his female students, Lam Uyen squatted down gently saying, get on. Lam Dan blushed and quickly waved, no need, I can go by myself. She thought to herself, what the heck is this? I don't want to be carried in front of so many people. But her arm was suddenly pulled. Lam Uyen said nothing and carried her on his back. She was startled and yelled, hey! Looking around, her face turned bright red. Lam Uyen quietly said, the classmates have left. If you can't walk, don't force yourself. He asked, your ankle is swollen and bruised, right? Lam Dan frowned, leaning against his back, wondering, when did he notice? Lam Uyen carried her into the house, calling out, we're home. Lam. Dan softly called Mom, Dad. Lam Uyen's parents exchanged glances, momentarily unsure of what to say. Then his father quickly regained his composure and smiled. It's good that you're back. In the kitchen, the sound of water running from the sink echoed. Lam Uyen's figure became clear as he carefully scrubbed each plate. Lam Uyen's mother rested her chin on her hand, gently asking, Dan, look at your brother. Doesn't he seem like a different person now? His father stroked his chin quietly, adding, that's right, he just learned to cook, wash dishes, and even replaced all the appliances in the house. After hearing this, Lam Dan could only suppress a smile, feeling quite surprised. His mother suddenly turned and whispered, moreover, your relationship is now like when you were little, even better. Lam Dan felt slightly embarrassed and coughed, asking back, really? She lifted the teacup, blew gently. The smoke swirling her gaze quietly followed Lam Uyen, her heart full of contemplation. This name is really strange. Has he really changed? In the kitchen, Lam Uyen finished washing the last dish, slightly bowed his head and said, I've cleaned up. Without waiting for anyone to respond, he took off his apron and added, I'm going to my room first. Lam Dan quietly watched him enter the room and close the door tightly. She lowered her eyes, a bit disappointed, mocking herself. What was she expecting? Indeed, he was still the game-addicted Trachnam, not fulfilling his responsibilities. Suddenly, a hand placed a bottle of medicine in front of her, cutting through her thoughts. Lam Dan was taken aback before she could react. Lam Uyen had turned away, leaving only a sentence. Use it after showering. This is very effective for wounds. Before closing the door, he reminded, I'm playing games. If there's nothing going on, don't go into my room. The door closed. Lam Dan still tightly held the bottle of medicine, staring blankly for a while. She softly bowed her head and murmured, I know no one wants to go into your room anyway. The corner of her mouth involuntarily curled up, a faint smile passed by. In the room, Lam Uyen rubbed his head, sighed, recalling what his mother had said to Lam Dan earlier. See, I told you your relationship is good now. What happened at school today? At that time, Lam Dan sadly replied, It's nothing, Mom, I'm going to shower first. Leaning back on the chair, Lam Uyen stared into space, murmuring, family matters have probably settled down recently. His gaze drifted to a hat not far away. He reached out to put it on, telling himself, then let's return to the game. In the Chufeng city area, the ground trembled with a strong force and a figure in a black cloak appeared in the middle. Lam Uyen smirked his cold smile, saying, let's go catch that mouse. He threw his cloak, kicked up the wind, and moved toward the palace ahead. System notification. You have entered Feng Shui Sha. In the distance, a man was trampled underfoot, grimacing and shouting, Sir, I swear to heaven, this is just a misunderstanding. The officer holding a spear shouted loudly at the terrified face of the man, Shut up! Take your filthy lies to prison and repent. From afar, a shadow silently approached. The officer frowned, looked around, but there was no one in front of him. He murmured, Strange, is it an illusion? Lam Uyen hid behind the wall, observing the officer escorting the man into prison, shouting as they went, Be honest. He pursed his lips, his pupils flickering with light, silently calculating, the patrol guards here are very sensitive to criminals. To recover the value of the crime, it will take at least 3 days of hiding. Thinking this, Lam Uyen clenched his fist and stepped out from the shadows. The wind blew through the cloak, gently fluttering. He whispered, It's time to go get it. It's been a long time, old friend. In the grand space of the cathedral, the lights sparkled from the stained glass windows. Father Loren was performing the daily ritual with a solemn expression. He spoke in a warm voice. In the name of God, I cleanse your past fog. From now on, your soul will be as pure as fresh snow, and your path will be illuminated by holy light. He turned and prepared for the purification ceremony. Bishop Loren, now I will perform the purification for you. Suddenly a familiar figure walked in, interrupting the self-introduction ritual. I come from the orphanage. Bishop Loren frowned slightly, unable to hide his displeasure, but due to the nature of his work, he reluctantly welcomed the other person. He explained calmly, I heard that a seriously ill person was admitted here, so I came to treat him. Therefore I took the liberty of coming to the church. Please excuse me, Victor, regarding Mr. Dak's condition. Bishop nodded. The person the bishop brought in for examination was Dak Ui, a former member of the Scorpion Tail Knights, who was once one of the strongest knights in the ancient kingdom of Westia. Lam Uin faintly recalled feeling a sense of connection from a past life. Upon reaching level 15, thanks to Dak Ui, he possessed a golden level weapon, the reunion sword of the Scorpion Tail Knights. He spoke up, Mr. Dak, I specifically came to treat the toxins in your body. Dak Ui's tired face looked up at him with a scrutinizing gaze. After a moment of observation, he laughed scornfully. Are you relying on this kid? A level 10 mage, even the patrolling soldiers outside are at a higher level than you. But Dak Ui's smile immediately faded as he coughed violently, spitting out a streak of dark red blood onto the clean blanket. Lam Uin spoke seriously, his gaze sharp. The toxins in your body have begun to corrode your organs. If you do not accept my treatment method, you won't live more than a month. Dak Ui pondered, his expression gradually becoming serious at the warning. After a moment of thought, he made a suggestion. To detoxify your body, I need 1,000 gins of rotten fish fat. If you are not afraid of death, go to the Gobi Mud to give it a try. The system immediately chimed in. You have activated Dak Ui's mission request. Do you accept mission title Dak Ui's request level golden content? Collect 11,000 gins of rotten fish fat to treat the toxins in Dak Ui's body. Lam Uyen nodded without hesitation. Of course. The scene shifted to the Gobi Mud home to the rotten fish. This land is gloomy with thick mud, and a shadowy figure dared to step in. Anyone who recklessly sets foot here is left with nothing but a pile of bones drifting in the mud. Elite rotten fish. Level 15, with 500 life, 500 attack, 45 defense. With the skill of Wavetail resonating in your hands is a formidable opponent. A group of people was struggling to attack the giant fish, but could do nothing against its overwhelming strength. Just then a team of bodyguards and soldiers appeared shouting, "Hold the formation!" The commander warned, "These beasts have sharp teeth, do not let them bite you." But a few careless individuals led to a disaster. A soldier cried out, "My waist!" The rotten fish not only did not retreat but also counterattacked fiercely, unleashing moves that scattered the entire team except for 2 lucky survivors. The rest were flung into the mud by some unlucky soldiers cornered with no way out by the swarm of rotten fish. The desperate cry for help rang out, "Help!" with the rotting fish unexpectedly using its tail to leap. Causing the ground to shake, the blond guy thought he had dodged the attack, but danger struck when a gigantic rotting fish charged at him, its mouth wide open as if to swallow him whole. It was fierce, determined not to let the tasty prey slip away. The XXL-sized mouth opened wide, ready to engulf the blond guy. Frozen in place, he thought to himself that he was surely dead. This time, just when he was about to give up, Lam Uyen suddenly appeared behind him, grabbing his collar and pulling him back forcefully away from the sharp teeth. He thought he was witnessing a touching moment of brotherhood, but Lam Uyen coldly left the blond guy to be blown away by the wind, shouting not to get in the way. One hand holding the collar, with the other he delivered a powerful strike to the hungry rotting fish. In just a few seconds, the unfortunate monster could only catch a glimpse of the last light before falling in immense pain. Lam Uyen landed, his movements decisive, beautiful, like a perfect performance. The blond sergeant was still in shock, his heart pounding, stammering, "Was I saved?" Without answering, Lam Uyen headed straight for the remaining rotting fish. The sergeant called after him, but to no avail. Wait. Noticing his teammate was not strong enough to fight, Lam Uyen decided to charge into battle alone, taking them down quickly. This image was etched deeply in the blond sergeant's mind, as if a great deity had appeared out of nowhere. With agile movements, Lam Uyen moved through the monsters, his sharp techniques taking down most of the rotting fish in an instant. They screamed in pain but could not resist the overwhelming power. Noticing their kind falling one after another, the remaining fish coordinated to jump up, growling as if wanting to tear their opponent apart. Lam Uyen smirked, leapt up, avoiding his previous position, leaving the fish bewildered. The blond sergeant shouted worriedly from afar, "Be careful, great deity." Two rotting fish charged at the same time but could not pose a challenge to him, not even enough to scratch an itch. Waiting for the right moment, Lam Uyen counter-attacked coldly, saying, "Is that all you've got?" He rolled, dodged the attack, landing safely. With a cold, sharp gaze, he drew his sword like a treasured weapon, looking at the fish with a mocking tone. When the mixed fish gathered together, they were still just mixed fish. Without beating around the bush, he swung his sword with decisive slashes like in a fruit-slicing game, creating a continuous rotting sashimi combo. The group following the blonde sergeant witnessed the unbelievable scene, mouths agape, exclaiming, "Damn it, where did this great master come from? Just now the 8 of us nearly got defeated. Yet he single-handedly took down 5. Their eyes were filled with amazement as they looked at Lam Uyen like a deity amidst the muddy battlefield. However, despite possessing formidable strength, Lam Uyen was still warned by the group that it would be difficult for him to defeat the rotting fish alone. They were dangerous not only because of their numbers but also due to their terrifying group attack techniques. The blonde guy just witnessed his teammate being torn apart, his face panicked, eyes filled with horror. 3 rotten fish quickly gathered into a school surrounding Lam Uyen from all directions, simultaneously unleashing their strongest skills. The system's notifications came in rapid succession. Rotten fish activate group skill resonance of Uncle's ear. Enemies within range will be hit by poisonous bone, activating negative state. Chaotic hallucination. But Lam Uyen remained calm, his gaze sharp as steel. He slightly curled his lips and whispered, "I won't fall for this trick in this world." Suddenly he summoned a mighty spirit beast zombie wolf. "Let's go." A howl from the zombie wolf shook the earth and sky. He commanded "Hungry wolf, roar." The beast howled, the sound shocking the rotten fish into a state of stupor. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Lam Uyen continued to summon a treasure, the Awakened Mask, a single-use poison protection item. With complete equipment, he was now ready to face the monsters. Without hesitation, Lam Uyen charged straight into the school of rotten fish, hunting down each one. "Lie down, die." He struck with his sword, hitting the weak point and causing the first fish to collapse instantly. The others shared the same fate, with the system continuously reporting hits on weak points. Finally, he delivered a fatal blow, piercing through the head of the giant fish, making it cry out in pain before falling dead, hitting the weak point. The blonde sergeant, just saved by Lam Uyen, stepped back. Behind him, the bodyguard exclaimed in astonishment, "Incredible, but it's still too early to be careless." Indeed, from afar, 7 rotten fish elite and various sizes emerged from the mud, rushing forward like ferocious catfish. "Look, the fish are coming." Lam Uyen coldly looked at the monsters and commanded, "Let the spirit beast pull the zombie seed." "Go pull the zombie seed, accept your fate." The spirit beast charged into the school of fish, activating the water crystal Thunder Blast skill. Thousands of bright purple rays shot from its head, striking directly into the school of rotten fish. Each beam that hit caused the fish to scream. A few dove into the mud to evade, but most were unable to escape the attack. The earthquake awakening bombarded continuously with dust and debris flying, revealing the sparse, sharp teeth of the monsters. The bodyguard, witnessing from the beginning, held his head in admiration, unable to believe. The level and number difference is too great, yet they still can't trap them in one net. But Lam Uyen didn't stop. He took a run-up, jumped from the rock ledge, landing beside his teammate, his movements powerful and decisive. "Who said we can't kill them all?" He wore a hat looking incredibly cool, his eyes radiating absolute confidence, even though no one could guess what he would do next. Suddenly, the appearance of a scorpion made everyone immediately change direction, buzzing with discussion. "Wait," one person exclaimed. "This scorpion keeps targeting the bellies of the female fish." Before their eyes, a series of female fish fell under the scorpion's venom, revealing the fish's ferocious nature. From surprise, the crowd shifted to panic, then astonishment, all rushing in to attack. That's right, they are biting each other without distinguishing friend from foe. The fish, regardless of enemies, madly attack their own kind. When female fish die or spawn, they release musk, causing the fish to go into a frenzy, activating a charge mode disregarding targets. Lam Uyen understands this characteristic well, cleverly exploiting the weaknesses of the school of fish. He summoned the mythical beast, commanding, "Shoot venom at the female fish," causing the fish to turn and compete, self-destructing among themselves. But just as he was explaining to everyone, a female fish emerged from the ground, aiming straight at him, intending to ambush. The general carefully shouted a warning, but Lam Uyen remained unfazed, standing still, as if he had anticipated everything. The crowd was astonished to discover another surviving female fish. "What is that? Can a female fish be nearly as big as a male fish?" Lam Uyen slightly bowed his head, the corners of his mouth curling up as if he had been preparing for this moment. He waved his hand to summon a new mythical beast, a zombie wolf. 6 zombie wolves immediately rushed out, attacking the female fish fiercely without needing orders. Each chose a random position, tearing violently. In the blink of an eye, the elite level 15 female fish was exhausted, falling down, but still screaming powerfully, refusing to yield. Lam Muin squinted, secretly admiring the 6 zombie wolves, but still failing to inflict a fatal wound. Without hesitation, he moved forward, raising his sword. Just need to make you immobile, everything will be much easier. A sharp slash split the fish in half. The 6 zombie wolves simultaneously dodged away, making room for him to finish it off. The system immediately announced the destruction of the rotten elite fish. Lam Muin swung his sword again. From the fish's body, thousands of sparkling purple pearls poured out. That's all it takes, he murmured, his gaze cold. Once finished, Lam Muin approached the fish, not in a hurry to pick up the pearls on the ground, but walked straight to its head, carefully selecting a few pearls. The blonde sergeant and his teammates stared in confusion. What is the general doing? Why is he getting close to it? Not stopping, Lam Muin ordered the zombie wolf to go to the stone in the center. The wolf jumped up, leaping from the ground, climbing a few stone steps with decisive movements. When reaching the appropriate position, Lam Muin signaled to stop, his expression exuding confidence, as if he had calculated everything beforehand. The zombie wolf, after Lam Muin's command, immediately placed the head of the female fish, containing thousands of purple pearls, on the ground, letting out a thunderous roar. A special scent spread out, filling the space. From above, several nearby fish caught the familiar scent and immediately rushed over. From the initial 2, now thousands of fish emerged from the ground, stimulated by the powerful musk. They frantically swam towards losing control, regardless of high mountains or deep valleys crashing into each other in chaos. Thus, a bodyguard suddenly realized, exclaiming, "I understand now. The female fish roe has a special attraction for male fish. He intentionally creates a continuous source of pheromones to throw the school of fish into chaos, right?" Lam Muin doesn't care about the gossip and continues to act. "Not enough yet," he said coldly. From a dark portal he opened it, and a few evolved beasts stepped out, each holding a sharp sickle. "You arrived just in time," he commanded. But before the male fish that had killed each other and exhausted themselves, the pack of hunting beasts began to strike with their first sickles. The weak male fish fell in droves after the chaotic battle. The blonde bodyguard exclaimed in surprise after another, the blue poison sac in the male fish's body. Lam Muin, wearing a mask, calmly replied, "That's right, the blue poison sac is a pretty sized cable. The toxic gas and scent from it make the school of fish sense the danger signal." The rotting fish, now weakened, struggled to swim away at least 5 meters, not daring to stop. They are not completely immune to their own toxins, only able to endure the slaughter. The crowd breathed a sigh of relief, especially the blonde sergeant, jumping up. "They are gone. The school of fish has really left." But Lam Muin knew he couldn't stop yet. He had to clean it up to the root, he said, jumping high, ready to harvest the spoils. He, the blonde sergeant, has become a loyal fan of Lam Muin since being rescued, a person who cleans up the whole area. Unbelievably, he excitedly wanted to be a decoration on his thigh. Lam Muin was unaware of those words, still focused on finishing the job. Once done, he gently landed in front of everyone. The system suddenly announced, received 12,000 experience points, level increased to level 11, thanks to accumulated experience from the previous life in this dungeon. He had quickly surpassed. Lam Muin removed his mask, revealing a handsome face with sharp eyes. The mask played a significant role in the battle. He pulled out a mysterious vial, sucking up everything left from the head of the rotting fish. He spent 5 gold coins to buy it, usable only once. A bit of a loss, but worth the money. He mumbled the vial, sucked 1,000 gran of rotting fish fat, a precious ingredient for high-level therapeutic medicine capable of healing necrotic wounds and regenerating dead tissue into healthy flesh and blood. Suddenly he jolted, almost forgetting an important thing. Then Lam Muin unexpectedly pulled out a red clown nose sparkling with a strange light. It is the nose of the Wave Rebel silver grade, made from rotting fish skin, spherical and elastic. When squeezed, it makes a clucking sound, vibrates and shines. Its effect is to release rotting fish pheromones, scaring off small-sized aquatic creatures. Looking at the nose, Lam Muin frowned slightly, his eyes showing disdain, imagining himself wearing it along with his grandmother's sealing scarf. This thought made him just want to run away in his pants. The noble mission reward or the strange hobby of the designer made him mumble. The blonde knight approached, full of excitement, so cool and even glowing. Lam Muin lifted the nose, it wobbled and shook, making him even more excited. "Oh my, it's even moving," he exclaimed. "It's really stylish. Can you sell it to me, my lord? How much?" "It's up to you, but alongside the unusual ones, there are always some who are sober." His team intervened. "Sorry, he's always like that." Lam Muin thought for a moment and handed him the nose. "It's a gift for you." The knight received the free treasure, delighted but guilty. "Wait, at least let me pay." Lam Muin did not reply, quietly spread his wings, glared lightly at the crowd before flying up. The blonde knight was stunned. The lord is truly an angel. The teammate next to him murmured, "What the heck, does anyone really want to pay for this?" The scene shifted to a majestic wind road. Lam Uyen entered bringing a vial of fish oil extract. After completing the task assigned by Dakui, he opened the vial and poured out the medicine. In less than 5 seconds, Dakui regained his strength, jumped up and looked at him in amazement. "What, I didn't expect you actually collected it too." The system announced, "You have completed Dakui's requested golden task. Reward golden weapon soul blade recognition." Remembering the previous life when I first received the soul blade, I got my first gold level weapon. This sword has a total attack attribute of 150 magic damage, of 150 spirit of 100 with the skill soul blade seal. This skill deals 150% spirit damage in the range of 100 to 150 with no cooldown and mana cost. Although the effect was not as expected, the soul blade seal skill was extremely powerful, due to the hidden effect accumulating soul blade energy in the enemy's body. After 3 times, it deals an additional 250% spirit damage. I am delighted imagining myself standing amidst the brilliant aura, the enemies collapsing at my feet. The soul blade recognition helped me sweep through the western desert, bringing me to the peak of being the #1 mage in the area. Gently touching the blade, Lam Uyen felt the exquisite patterns engraved on it, silently vowing to accept the prestige reward. 1,000 prestige in the main city, 500 prestige in the Lion Scorpion Knight Brigade. Outside in the wind on the magnificent road, I stood there with a sharp gaze ready for the next challenges. The prestige earned, although only at a neutral level similar to the previous life, was enough for Lam Uyen to operate freely in the main city. I glanced at the system notification. My eyes suddenly stopped at a line that intrigued me. Google, on the head of the system display, due to your character completing a mission to receive a favor reward from NPC +10. This time it seemed like something was different. The NPC still felt gratitude for being saved. Looking at me, he sincerely said, "Thank you very much, little brother. If it weren't for you, I might have died in bed next month." Without being polite, he solemnly bowed his head to show gratitude to his lifesaver. Then he lightly frowned and gave me advice. "To show my gratitude, there's one thing I must remind you." Lam Uyen was a bit surprised. Just bringing back the medicine easily increased the favorability of the NPC. Could it trigger some hidden plot? I wondered as the image of QC the villain with blazing red light magic flashed through my mind. Dakui sighed seriously. "If you meet someone named QC, you must stay away from him." Lam Uyen stood by Dakui's bed and asked, "If you say QC is my guide, why do you say that?" Dakui was shocked and sat up. "What, he's your guide?" He propped himself up on the bed, his voice lowering as he explained, "Even though you hide your identity, I know you are an undead hunter, right, Lam Uyen?" But frowning, Lam Uyen asked, "How do you know I'm an undead hunter?" Inside he was tumultuous because, after hiding the information, even QC couldn't detect his identity. Dakui immediately explained, "I was once a member of the Scorpion Tail Knight under the king, specializing in secret missions including hunting undead hunters. Therefore I learned a special skill to sense darkness." Lam Uyen was slightly startled. "Sense darkness?" Dakui looked at him, his sharp gaze as if seeing a magical red circle surrounding him blending into the darkness. He continued, "That is the exclusive skill of the Scorpion Tail Knight. When the necromancer appears, it automatically senses. The closer it gets, the clearer it becomes." Lam Uyen was secretly astonished, feeling very cautious, not expecting there to be a skill specifically for dealing with necromancers. Dakui looked at his hand, rebutting, "At first I was heavily poisoned. My awareness decreased, so I didn't detect it. Now that the poison has been cured, I can clearly sense the special aura of the Dark Lord on you. You can't fool me." Lam Uyen was even more stunned. "The Dark Lord?" Dakui began to narrate in a deep voice. Long ago, he recalled the common legend among the immortals. There were 5 gods in this world: God of Light, Moonlight Shadow General, Goddess of Nature, Lord of Tides, and King of Souls. The scene changed. An evil figure appeared, completely shrouded in darkness. Dakui continued, "But actually from the very beginning, there was a 6th god, the Dark Lord, the king of the immortals, the most powerful among the 6 legendary gods. That dark god raised his hand to control the dark flames, commanding the worshippers with overwhelming power. The Dark Lord, relying on his unparalleled power, acted without regard for anything. He bestowed dark power upon the most loyal followers, turning them into soul hunters, to carry out his divine orders. Under the brutal rule, the soul hunters spread disease, taking tens of millions of lives, turning countless souls into zombies with gray-green skin and blood-red eyes, wreaking havoc everywhere. Great nations rose up in resistance, destroying temples dedicated to him, burning all records related to him. Soul hunters caught and discovered would be executed on the spot. From then on, this profession became taboo, hunted, and despised by the whole world. Dakui touched his chest, his voice solemn. Years ago in a battle I was poisoned by a soul hunter. The illness tormented me for 15 years. I thought I was just waiting to die until you appeared. This made Lam Uyen recall his attributes. Player Lam Uyen, level 11 profession, soul hunter taboo. Innate ability to summon darkness. The gate of the underworld, 35 100 power, 32 physique, 28 agility, 49 spirit, 156 experience, 527 out of 8, 726. He was momentarily astonished. In my previous life I was just an ordinary mage. I never expected there was such a secret behind the legend. No wonder the soul hunter is classified as taboo. Luckily he always remained in a stealth state. Lam Uyen raised his hand, pondering. Things are getting complicated. He originally intended to quietly investigate clues about the medal in the main city after erasing the crime points. But now, if he didn't conceal the aura of the Dark Lord, his identity was at risk of being exposed. Immediately, he turned to Dakui and asked, "Is there any way to avoid the dark perception of the Scorpion Tail Knight?" And Dakui clenched his fist and quickly replied, "Unless QC is willing to help you. But if he knew your true identity, Quincy would definitely kill you." He continued seriously, "Years ago it was a soul hunter who killed his most beloved wife. So I advise you to stay away from him." This made Lam Uyen silent, his expression serious. He headed toward the Shattered Stone Desert with a tense mindset. "System notification, you arrived at the Shattered Stone Desert 10 minutes ago." As he was about to find QC, Dakui tried to stop him. "Are you crazy? Do you really want to find QC? He would love nothing more than to chop all soul hunters into 100 pieces." "I have no other choice." Yes, now in the desert he walked with a sense of caution, carrying this dark aura. Don't mention the main city. Even other maps will face major problems that need to be resolved at the root. Suddenly countless green arrows flashed and rushed towards them. Lam Uyen immediately leaned to dodge, his gaze sharp and cold. "What is that?" He stood firm, observing his surroundings. Ahead, a group of aggressive people rushed in, leading the search in this wretched place. After days they finally caught the kid. The Blood Owl Association has gathered and is determined to gang up on him. A figure exuding a strong aura stared intensely at Lam Uyen, boasting, "Last time you tricked me, this time I brought over 30 brothers to watch you die." The two leading figures, a blonde and a creepy-eyed guy, grinned viciously. "Later, when your head falls to the ground, remember to scream a little louder. I like to hear it." The scene shifted to a desert where a strange dragonfly hovered nearby. Its eyes were unusual, resembling not a natural insect but a disguised robot controlled remotely via a phone. The system announced the Blood Owl Association is live streaming from a nearby submarine. The crowd was restless, eagerly scrolling through their phones. The host's voice echoed, "Viewers are lucky to catch this broadcast Huin Phi Ho at the Broken Stone Desert." Respectfully introducing, the number of viewers surged from 88 to 123 and then to 212, creating a chilling atmosphere. "The Blood Owl Association is live streaming again, torturing the weak," a viewer exclaimed, getting goosebumps. Far away, several other viewers commented, "More than 30 against one. Who is this unlucky guy that crossed paths with these thugs?" A group of 3 or 4 gathered to look at Lam Uyen on the screen, commenting, "This guy is quite handsome, too bad he's about to be done for." Today's victim is Lam Uyen. Many felt pity, but there were also quite a few who admired his flashy appearance. Lam Uyen coldly retorted, "Just relying on 2 wild dogs, you are not even enough to warm me up." "If you willingly offer your life, I'll take it again," Huin Phi Ho arrogantly shouted. "Say that again, it's a bit cool." The crowd cheered from the front row, selling seeds and drinks, waiting for the slaughter to begin. Huin Phi Ho ordered, "Go all out. I want 4 to 5 people to rush in with weapons immediately." 5 sorcerers wielding spears unleashed the heavenly thunder attack, striking down the second person. The hunter with the bow aimed straight, die. The remaining 3, one with an axe, one with a sword, and one wielding a knife, simultaneously jumped toward Lam Uyen. The system promptly announced malicious encirclement attack, confirmed counter-attack time limit 15 minutes. During this time, killing the encircling enemies will not count as a crime. Lam Uyen smirked. 15 minutes is more than enough to send them back to their maker. They thought he was fighting alone against 5, but Lam Uyen unexpectedly summoned an entire army of zombies of various types from A to Z. The zombie army came out to play, led by a little bear that he personally chose. Just this little spark dares to be called thunder. Next, the little thunder scorpion rushed out, carrying deadly toxins. The situation turned upside down in an instant. Huin Phi Ho panikedly shouted, "Everyone pay attention." The warrior retreats, forming a shield formation. A group of mages focuses on attacking the rogue and the troublesome archer. The Blood Oath Guild soldiers immediately execute the order. The group of witches slams their staffs down hard with two behind supporting the strongest casting enhancement magic. After accumulating enough energy for a 5-star national super level, the lead witch strains raises her staff at a 90-degree angle and launches a massive magical ball. Thousands of lightning bolts shoot out targeting Lam Uyen's horde of zombies. At the same time, the archers of the Yang bow shoot tens of thousands of arrows in succession under command. The zombies are continuously hit. The system announces score drops dramatically, -15, -20 double damage. The system updates the livestream viewers from 272 to 168. The online community of Jang is buzzing with comments. These summoned beasts are like easy prey for the elite level 78 team. Some people join in to disperse. Go, an empty barrel makes the loudest noise. Huin Fi Long and Huin Fi Ho laugh triumphantly. So what if we summon zombies? No matter how strong they are under our continuous attacks, they will just turn into a pile of minced meat. Huin Fi Long is almost certain that you will die today, but Lam Uyen only smiles coldly and sighs softly. Really, Huin Fi Long suddenly feels uneasy. A suspicious glance, not just him, but the entire community of Mankujang is panicking. What is happening? Just then, a gentle touch from Lam Uyen causes the ground to explode, creating a deep pit that swallows the first 3 mages. The cries for help ring out, followed by a scorpion zombie rising up, swinging its hammer from behind and knocking down 3 others in the blink of an eye. A pack of wolf zombies rushes out, each choosing a foe for hand-to-hand combat, while some flee in panic, dust clouds swirling like in a blockbuster movie. Save Huin Fi Long and Huin Fi Ho, their faces are devoid of blood, stiff as statues. The livestream explodes, the number of viewers jumps from 168 to 302. Wow, zombies can coordinate attacks. Who told Huin Fi Ho to take everything apart now? It's just a pile of parts. The group of mages quickly cast soul-cleansing magic to heal the poisoned wounds, but the process is too slow. Lam Uyen doesn't wait, delivering a finishing blow, sending them straight down to the 18th level of hell. He smirks lightly. It can't be helped. The space behind Lam Uyen suddenly twists, forming a vortex. He quickly draws the sword from within his cloak, billowing, charging straight towards Huin Fi Long. A sharp sword thrust pierces the belly of the blonde guy. He doesn't have time to defend, coughing up blood. Astonished and stammering, How did you know? His body stiffens, his eyes filled with panic. Lam Uyen maintains his stance. The sword sinks deeper. The overwhelming momentum fills the air. At least we're not stupid enough to hide on the sand underfoot. The giant scorpion and the green-skinned thugs attacked fiercely, causing panic among the enemies. One guy was running and screaming, "You will die like a dog." Another one shouted, "Too strong, the head's gone, run fast." Huin Fi Ho tightened his grip on the sword-hilt veins, bulging on his forehead, eyes bloodshot, growling, "Damn it, a bunch of useless trash." He jumped up, swinging his sword straight at Lam Uyen, shouting, "I will personally cut you down." Lam Uyen slightly frowned, his back slightly bent, ready to counterattack. He smiled coldly, face darkened, swung his sword, concentrating his divine power. "Then go ahead and try." The system announced soul-binding activation. Countless vengeful spirits, in the form of skulls wrapped in sinister energy, opened their mouths to roar, rushing straight towards Huin Fi Ho. The skulls surrounded him as if wanting to tear him apart, making him step back, his face panicked, pupils dilated, screaming, "What is this?" Before he could regain his composure, Lam Uyen rushed in, slashing once, slipping behind Huin Fi Ho quick as lightning. He couldn't react, standing frozen in place. The two turned their backs to each other, the wind blowing, their cloaks fluttering. The space was eerily silent. Lam Uyen slightly bowed his head, a victorious smile evident. He counted down 3-2. Huin Fi Ho trembled, cold sweat streaming down as he shouted 1. A horrifying explosion erupted beneath Huin Fi Ho, throwing him into the air, his body split in two, debris flying everywhere. He only managed to let out a desperate scream. Lam Uyen plunged his sword into the ground, looked at it and smiled softly. Indeed, it's still the old friend, very handy to use. The global channel erupted, the number of viewers skyrocketing from 302 to 558. Is this special effect paid for? Huin Fi Ho threatened to kill, only to find himself cut down like a fallen celestial flower. The big shot lacked jewelry, didn't shout 66 top-notch. The system announced player Huin Fi Ho has left the physical live stream. But around him, enemies lay, fallen weapons shattered, and the cries for help echoed. Huin Fi Long, the only one still standing, gaped, sweat pouring down, thinking to himself, is this an illusion? In just a few days apart, this kid has a pile of corpses at Lam Uyen's feet, cape billowing an overwhelming presence. In Huin Fi Long's eyes, he looked like a demon from hell. His face dark, with only his red eyes gleaming, hands wrapped in red thread controlling the battlefield, killing everyone without mercy. Feeling Huin Fi Long's horrified gaze, Lam Uyen frowned and turned around. Huin Fi Long raised his sword defensively in front of his chest, trembling all over, stammering, "Please don't kill me. Help." Lam Uyen pulled a sword from the body of a fallen enemy, slowly stepped forward, his voice calm. Now, take half a step back. Your body stiffened. You have no chance to resist. In an instant, Lam Uyen's sword pierced straight through Huin Filong's head. Blood splattered, his voice cold and ruthless. It's your turn to taste despair. He waved his hand to control the sword, striking Huin Filong with a lethal blow, causing him to fall back, blood spraying onto the blade. He collapsed without a hint of mercy under Lam Uyen's cold gaze. He sheathed his sword, preparing to collect the spoils of war. It's over. Suddenly he frowned and squinted as a purple-eyed bee flew towards him. Almost forgot, he said, nonchalantly waving his hand to summon divine power. A horrifying explosion erupted in the sky, the air-thin debris flying everywhere. Lam Uyen withdrew his hand, looking at his hand still shimmering with light, his voice indifferent. Now it's pure. In a towering villa at Lamtin, in a luxurious room, a man sat on the sofa, a glass of wine served right to him. The chatter arose. Why did the big shot blow up the entire live stream? I know it's the big shot who killed the dire wolf. I was at the scene. The computer screen flooded with comments. The number of viewers surged. Is the big shot in the shattered stone desert? I want to meet the mercenary guild sending out S-level invitations. The blond man sighed, slamming the glass of wine down. That name, Lam Uyen. Meanwhile, at the undying black house, Quincy lay resting his chin on a barrel of wine in a room filled with bottles, eyes shut tight, exhausted. The wooden door creaked open. Lam Uyen walked in, his expression not cheerful at all. Quincy heard a noise, opened his eyes, and sighed. Is it you again? He closed the door, stepped inside, and stood still. Quincy turned away, handing over a small bottle of wine. No more getting up the money, for the wine is enough. Today, I'm feeling really lazy. Lam Uyen did not accept the wine. His face darkened, and he said in a low voice, I want to talk to you. The skill panel appeared. Cancel hidden profession player Lam Uyen, level 11 profession undead. Hunter forbidden talent, dark summoning technique. The door of the Ming realm, 3500 strength, 32 physique, 28 agility, 49 spirit, 156 experience, 527 out of 8, 726. The wine bottle fell shattered, and the sound of the shards echoed. Quincy came to his senses, bloodshot eyes roaring. You are the undead hunter! The air was tense like a guitar string. Quincy stood up to face. Lam Uyen squinted, grinding his teeth. How many years has it been? His hand tightened around the lightning source, muttering, Undead hunter. Lightning erupted around him. Losing control, he shouted, How dare you appear before me? He unleashed all his power. The shards of the wine scattered throughout the room. Half destroyed the wine barrel, half flew towards Lam Uyen, but he had vanished in the blink of an eye. Shards fell to the ground. Lam Uyen Quincy widened his eyes, pupils constricting, stammering so fast. He could not keep up with Lam Uyen's speed. He swung his sword, slicing through the ceramic wine bottle, pressing the blade close to Quincy's nose. He gaped, unable to utter a word. Lam Uyen, his face unchanged, coldly said, Can we talk properly now? Quincy didn't dare to act rashly, asking again, What do you really want to do? Lam Uyen recalled the words of a man with a tied-up hair, his voice low and sad. Fine, if you really have to go, consider this clue as a repayment. In a chaotic battlefield, witches, mages, and swordsmen fought fiercely, none giving way to the other. The earth and rocks were devastated under the shadow of the Dark Lord of old. The immortal world plunged into despair. Quincy and his beloved wife led the fight against the undead hunter, the close minion of the female sorceress lord. Quincy's wife screamed, her eyes rolling back, dark energy radiating from her body to maintain righteousness. After the bloody battle, the undead hunter was destroyed. But the wife, in saving Quincy, fell victim to a death curse, her soul tainted by darkness, becoming a creature without memory, forever unable to transcend. Her teammates cried out in despair. The sorceress transformed her body, sprouting green scales, long curved horns, a broom-like tail. Quincy clutched his numb arm, trembling, helpless, lacking the strength to hold the sword. He wanted to break the curse to save his wife, but the only way was to destroy her tainted soul with his own hands. After the battle, Quincy was devastated, unable to even hold the sword, his eyes bloodshot, losing his humanity. Everyone thought he would drown in alcohol for the rest of his life. Time passed until one day Quincy stood on the second floor of the Gaozu Tavern, announcing a mysterious mission attracting everyone's attention. This mission could save my wife. The righteous will receive the treasure of my lifetime. The undead hunter will be given the method of resolution, sensing the darkness. That is a treasure from the corpse of a fallen necromancer who died in Quincy, filled only with hatred. Using the spoils as bait, both to save his wife and to make the necromancer pay with blood. The long-haired demoness stands atop a mountain of corpses. The space is a fiery red, but all 158 people assigned to the mission have perished. Lam Yuan's sword is pressed close to his face. QC coldly asks, "Tell me, what is your mission?" "Okay." QC sighs, does not resist, closes his eyes and recounts, "Fine, you find your way to the door. I have been worried for a long time that no one plays games with my beloved wife. The system notifies that the mission has been detected. Do you accept? Mission name: the soul of the wife. Content: help QC's wife be free to rest in peace. Deadline: 10 days, level silver." Lam Uyan glanced over and casually said, "Accept." He lowered his sword, emotionless, turned and walked away. Quincy no longer looked angry, softly wished, "Good luck. Who knows, you might actually complete my mission." But when Lam Uyan disappeared from view, he smiled slyly. His eyes curved like a full moon, thinking to himself, "Provided your body returns intact." Night fell. The memorial sanctuary in the north of Black Sand Town. Lam Uyan stepped into the dim light enough for him to see the path. Hair covering one eye, he pursed his lips, his steps not hurried. The system announced that night vision goggles have been used. He entered the secret room where beast-headed monsters held torches. Giant scorpions patrolled. In the corner, a coffin came into his view. He remained silent, only thinking. This sanctuary has 5 levels, the resting place for NPCs who died in Black Sand Town. Suddenly the coffin lid popped open. A small purple monster with long claws and jagged teeth jumped out, lunging straight at him. A sharp stab from the tail of the giant scorpion ended the small monster. Blood splattered everywhere. Lam Uyan maintained a cold expression, not a bit shaken. The monster collapsed at his feet, the scorpion tail still embedded. He narrowed his eyes and murmured, "This sanctuary occasionally spawns zombies, skeletons, and wraiths from the darkness. The walking corpses twist and advance. 3 levels of monsters increase as you go up each floor." He silently noted, "The first floor has level 1 to 3 zombies weak. The second floor has level 4 to 6 skeletons armored and wielding swords and shields. The third floor has level 7 to 9 wraiths, their forms shadowy with only unusually long arms. The fourth floor has level 10 flesh-eaters, muscles, bulging mouths torn from ear to ear, eye sockets empty." In the distance, a massive monster with a spiked tail crushed the bodies of victims dressed in white, grabbing the head of a woman in front of Lam Uyan. 2 wolf-headed monsters growled. A magical vortex opened on the wall, sucking in air forcefully. He smiled rarely, his eyes gleaming with delight. "Then let's surpass these 4 levels in one breath." Strange sounds echoed throughout the building, becoming increasingly distinct. The 4th level of the large funeral home Lam Uyan vigilantly observed. A strange sound caused him to pause. From the wall, a green flesh-eater with long horns and glowing red eyes appeared. The system announces the activation of the wall movement skill. The next moment, activate the upside-down hanging skill. Tearing through from the dark corners, the flesh-eating demons crawl out. System display: Elite Flesh-Eating, Demon level 10, Health 2000, Attack 400, Defense 40, Skill Tearing with Poison Wall Movement, Upside-Down Hanging Tearing. Lam Uyan commands to charge forward. His beast rushes in, roaring, ferociously biting and tearing madly. The system continues to activate the grip skill Paralysis. The wolf-headed beast opens its mouth, sharp teeth gleaming, swinging its tail to throw the flesh-eating demons away. Lam Uyan unleashes a deadly move, slicing with a sharp sword, causing the demons to scream in pain, falling to the ground. A demon struggles beneath his feet. He coldly says, "Almost missed you." After clearing them out, the system announces, "Congratulations, you have leveled up to level 12. Lam Uyan slightly frowns, feeling a sense of regret. The dark necromancy can control zombies but is useless against the undead monsters. Suddenly, a strange shadowy energy appears behind him. Alert, he turns around and strikes back, launching an invisible attack. What is this? He realizes something is wrong. Oh no! Without time to defend, he is thrown back. The 5th floor of the funeral home is unusually quiet, like an attack descending from above, bringing terrifying pressure. Lam Uyan is thrown back and only stops after a while. He looks back, seeing a coffin wrapped in chains. He comments quietly, "Let's move to another area." Why did the coffin suddenly shake? An excited voice echoes, "Finally, I've been waiting for you, master." Power erupts inside, shattering the chains and the coffin. System display: Vengeful Soul Master, level 18, Health 6000, Attack 800, Defense 200, Skill Blooming Dead. The rage of the sorceress rises. The master screams, "I will tear you apart." Lam Uyan raises his sword to block her deadly blow. The system announces, "Boss activates the Blooming Dead skill." The master strikes, but he quickly dodges, simultaneously avoiding the poisonous liquid she spits out. Looking at the surrounding rocks being corroded, he is astonished. This poison is also corrosive. Her power sends rocks flying, but Lam Uyan grips his sword tightly, slicing through her tentacle. Fragments of the tentacle shatter and fall. The master struggles, screaming wildly, refusing to accept defeat. Yes, the system continues. Boss activates the fury of the sorceress. Lam Uyen frowns. This is a non-range skill, this is a summoning. Eerie sounds rise from outside the room, getting closer. A bony hand reaches out from the crack. He is alert, raises his sword secretly guessing that the NPC of Black Sand is buried here along with those who failed in the QC mission. He irritably glances, "Damn master, do you want to resurrect these guys?" The skeletons rose, emitting terrifying sounds, charging forward in unison. He seriously assessed the numbers behind the door. Not just one. He muttered, "I didn't expect this boss could even resurrect a pile of bones." He ordered to block the door. A wolf-headed man with a weapon charged up, blocking the skeletons. He calculated in silence, using the zombie army as a shield. Before a skeleton crawled through the gap like a bloodthirsty wolf, roaring, swinging its weapon, delivering lethal blows to the giant monsters. The system announced entering bloodthirsty state. The wolf-headed man's eyes glowed red, scarier than ever. Lam Uyen commanded the wolf-headed leader to strike. The beast charged forward, burrowing into the ground. The system continued to activate the skill Wrath of the Earth. The wolf-headed man charged, delivering a heavy strike to the leader. The ground and rocks above shattered, crashing down. The leader was surprised, but remained safe, laughing triumphantly. Lam Uyen was taken aback that she was completely unharmed amidst the rubble. Lam Uyen observed the leader's face and analyzed it coldly. The wraiths of the Ulin tribe can pass through objects immune to half physical damage, but take double magic damage. He tightened his grip on the sword, executing a technique to summon countless skulls rushing straight at her, and decided to use the soul binding to inflict damage. The leader nimbly dodged all of them, surprising him. Why was the speed suddenly so fast? He glanced to the side, seeing the wolf-headed army blocking the skeletons jostling at the door. Smiling, he silently resolved that the NPCs in the tomb could break through the defense line at any time. He must win quickly. He summoned a ring, muttering, "First restrict her actions." His hand clenched tightly. Tiny currents of electricity surrounded him. The system notified that the silver paralysis ring was equipped with effects life plus 100 mana plus 100 agility, plus 15 spirit plus 15, and an additional paralysis toxin skill. This skill has a 5% chance to paralyze the enemy for 3 seconds upon attack. The ring flashed, and the system confirmed the activation of the second paralysis toxin. The lord of the area, the purple lightning from Lam Uyen's hand, screamed in pain, unable to struggle. The system announced hit the target, activated paralysis toxin. He rushed forward, icy spiritual energy radiating out, shouting loudly, "It's not over yet." A skull flew towards her, striking directly. The lord reluctantly resisted, being bounced back, crashing into a large rock, causing it to shatter. She fell down, covering her mouth, her face twisted in pain. The ground trembled from the aftershocks. The sword in his hand radiated an overwhelming aura, leaving a large hole in the stone. Lam Uyen stood tall, casually lamenting that luck wasn't too bad. He silently calculated after they cast the soul curse seal, her speed had slowed down. Suddenly a ferocious beast appeared behind him, baring its teeth and growling. The system announced the activation of the Howling Evil Wolf skill, and a giant wolf materialized. Thunder rumbled in the gloomy air. The lord was hit and let out a soft cry, and the system confirmed the target was stunned. Lam Uyen looked at the sword, his eyes glinting with determination. Just 5 seconds of being stunned was enough. He unleashed powerful fluid sword moves, rushing forward and taunting, "How many of my moves can you take?" The lord couldn't dodge, her body weak and covered in wounds. The system reported continuously -50, -50, -60, -60, -60. Blood oozed from her face, her expression twisted in extreme anger. She let out an ear-splitting scream filled with resentment. Black lightning surrounded her. The system coldly announced, "Boss activated the destruction spell." Lam Uyen widened his eyes in shock. With the destruction spell, a terrifying explosion shook the space dust and debris scattered everywhere. The lord at the center of the explosion unleashed all her remaining power. The purple lightning swept away the surrounding weaker beasts. The chaotic scene, the air thick with a foul odor, darkened as the dust gradually cleared, revealing a devastated landscape. Lam Uyen remained unharmed thanks to a timely shielding maneuver. Countless zombies protected him, helping him escape by a hair's breadth. He stood up, using his sword as support. Stepping out from the rubble, his heart shaken, destruction spell. She dared to detonate all the NPC zombies in the tomb. Looking at the feeble figure of the Lord, Lam Uyen stood with the 3 remaining zombies ready to take orders. He quietly worried. The zombie army was down to just 3. The losses were too great. He stood in front of her, his voice icy. "It's time to end you now." He charged forward, a flurry of aggressive skulls flying after him, shouting, "Disappear!" The green spiritual energy erupted. The skulls rushed in like a whirlwind, striking directly at the Lord. Exhausted from the previous strike, she couldn't dodge in time, only letting out a dissatisfied scream. Then she faded away. The system announced, "Boss is in a dying state, health 300. The Lord's body vanished in a blinding light. The system continued, health 200, 130. Congratulations, you have killed the vengeful spirit, receiving 800 experience. Lam Uyen landed on the ground, his steps heavy after the bloody battle. In the quiet space, his beast stood silently behind him. He murmured, "It's over." Suddenly a flash of purple light appeared. The soul of Quincy's wife materialized faintly, softly thanking him, the brave one. A gentle, grateful smile appeared on her face, then she faded away. Lam Uyen collected the ring, his gaze cold. System note: love ring, a quest item that cannot be discarded or sold. Note: engagement ring given by QC to his fiancée as symbol of their love. He frowned, complaining, "Is this ring all the reward?" Suddenly a red book with a skull image appeared in front of him, opening up, emanating an unusual aura. Lam Uyen approached with interest, opening the book. The red light illuminated his face, highlighting a dangerous look. He said in a deep voice, "Death Explosive Technique, the exclusive skill of the Death Spirit Executioner." The system displayed Death Explosive Technique level gold learning condition, Death Spirit Executioner. He pondered intently, looking at the book, radiating mysterious energy, wondering if it was because the fake seal was the confidant of the Dark Lord. Spiritual energy quickly enveloped Lam Uyen, his face unusually calm. The system announced, "Skill book automatically saved into player memory." A massive beam of light descended from the sky, shaking the space with a loud explosion. The system explained, Gold Level 1 Death Explosive Technique. Effect: explode one zombie, dealing fire damage equal to 60% of its health to surrounding enemies. Consumes 100 mana cooldown. 10 seconds proficiency not above 1. Lam Uyen smiled with satisfaction, thinking, even if it consumes a zombie, the power and the range of this skill are amazing. A delightful surprise. He returned to Black Sand Town, where the streets were bustling under the warm sunshine, pulling out the Chi-I ring. QC's face immediately darkened. He stood still, trembling as he asked, "Is this the engagement ring I gave her?" His hand clenched the ring tightly, memories flooding back. The sealed soul has no memory, but only when released does it recover and drop the most precious thing from its life. He murmured, his voice choked, "My wife, when she left, she was no longer in pain, right?" Lam Uyen gently replied, "That's right." Mr. Quincy held the ring with both hands, gazing at it, tears streaming down his face as he remembered his wife's radiant smile. He hugged the ring to his chest, forcing himself to say, "Then that's great." Lam Uyen quietly stood there to let him feel the pain, quickly regaining his composure and bowing in gratitude. "I never expected a deathly fierce hand, the one I hate the most, to help me relieve this regret of affection. I engrave it in my heart." He used dark magic, summoning a black box inside, which was a crown emanating a dangerous aura like a torrent. "Beloved, it is solemn. The time has come to fulfill the promise." System notification. Dark Crown Special Equipment Headgear. Effect 1 conceals crime value. Effect 2 conceals dark aura undetectably. Note: exclusive equipment of the deathly fierce hand, cannot be sold, cannot be destroyed. Dad Lam Uyen held the crown deep in thought. Even without additional effects, the concealed crime value and dark aura are exactly what I need. He recalled the troubles with the Scorpion Tail Lion Night Guild, thinking that with this I no longer need to act cautiously in the city. The system suggests whether the player wants to equip the dark crown. He smiled coldly, a circle of magic power surrounded him, the gloomy aura dissipated. The crown placed on his head. Lam Uyen smiled faintly, his voice deep, finally getting closer to the truth. The fresh atmosphere, the new city bustling with people, the calls to join the guild recruiting for PvP rang out. The guild leader is acrobatic. Anyone passionate can join Guild 20 recruiting members. The guild leader dressed in women's clothing. The guild is grandly recruiting people. Lam Uyen walked amidst the crowd, his heart deep in thought. Feng Shui Sha has countless large and small guilds, but only a few names are truly considered top forces. The system quickly displayed the recruitment ranking. Rampaging Guild number 2. Crystal Flower Moon number 3, Infinite Spirit number 4, City Song number 5, Eternity number 10. Black Tree looked at the list, muttering, only 10 guilds. An image of a person in black cloak covering their face vaguely appeared in his memory. The cryptic smile made him wonder, is he hiding among them? It is a newcomer in Feng Shui Sha. It is not easy to approach these forces. Lam Uyen's expression turned cold, his gaze sharp, carefully considering in the crowd. A figure quietly observed his every move. Not noticing, he continued to silently tell himself he needed to find an opportunity. Behind him, a shadow stealthily followed Lam Uyen, quickly weaving through the crowd and then turning into a nearby alley. The blond person in heavy armor hurriedly chased after him. The sound of clanking armor rang out, but when he turned the corner he was bewildered because he lost sight. A sword quietly pressed against Lam Uyen's neck. "Who is it?" The blond person panicked, his face pale, standing still. He slowly opened his mouth. his voice wavering before suddenly excitedly turning around and shouting, "Uyen God, it's really you!" Lam Uyen dodged to the side, causing him to fall hard to the ground. Feeling wronged, he cried out. He wondered the killing intent in his eyes, dissipating, scrutinizing. "Is it you?" He sat down holding his leg and groaning in pain, but still happily said, "Uyen God, do you still remember me?" He was cautious, coldly asking, "You know my name?" The blond man patted his chest proudly. "Yeah, when I watched the live stream from that blood guild or whatever, I recognized you right away." He proudly recounted, "I spent a lot of effort searching through tens of thousands of comments to find traces of Uyen." He rubbed his nose and boasted, "Then I spent another 2,000 to upgrade the latest facial recognition system of the corporation to identify you. Hurry up and praise me." Lam Uyen helplessly thought, silently cursing, but calmly asked, 2,000 just to find me?" He scratched his head awkwardly. "Is that a lot? My Han Corporation spends a few million just to check the system." Lam Uyen's face darkened, his grip tightened on his sword, and a killing intent flashed. "The Han Corporation, 100 billion technology giant," he thought to himself. "What does he know about me? Should I end him right here?" The blond man, Hantang, his eyes bright with excitement, shouted, "Uyen, team up with me. Tomorrow there's an S-Rank hunt in the cave." He stumbled and fell flat, but was still excited. "I heard they discovered the lair of the skinning lizard god." Lam Uyen coldly looked at Hantang lying flat on the ground, his voice sharp. "Go away, don't follow me." "Why argue with this idiot?" Hantang lowered his head, a sad smile. "Only a great god like you could solo wipe out the elite team of the Blood Crow Guild like peeling a melon. Why team up?" He sat down on the ground, scratched his head, trying to persuade, "This hunt the 3 teams of the Black Tree Guild are also participating. A rookie who stands out might still have a chance." Lam Uyen glanced at the system boards 7, 8, 9, and 10 of the Black Tree Guild. Hantang sighed his face. "Dejected, it seems I only have the option to try my luck." Just then Lam Uyen coldly spoke. "What time exactly?" Hantang looked up, suddenly his eyes bright. 8 a.m. tomorrow. Uyen, have you agreed?" He jumped up and ran to hug his leg. Lam Uyen helplessly blocked him, calling him, "Uyen is fine, but before departing some preparations are needed." The scene shifted to the camp. The vulture bandits appeared, skulls hanging from flags radiating a terrifying aura. An explosion shook the area. Lam Uyen stepped forward, calm. "The Lord is probably up ahead." He took a deep breath, sensing the atmosphere. The system displayed the vulture zombie bandits level 12 health, 1600 attack, 250 defense, 70 skill, curved throwing knife. The corpses of the undead, the zombies, rose up charging towards him. He turned to his teammates, his voice deep. "Let's go." The vulture bandits swung their knives, bloodthirsty eyes. One shouted incomprehensibly, ordering to rush forward. Lam Uyen waved his hand, both sides charged at each other, fighting fiercely. One threw a knife, activating the curved throwing knife. Watching the blade fly towards him, Lam Uyen calmly observed, jumping to dodge just before it hit. The bandit was stunned. Surprised, Lam Uyen appeared behind him, slashing his back, causing him to fall. "I take your lives in an instant." He wiped out the entire group. The system announced, eliminated the vulture bandits X3, X6, X10. He landed, resting his sword lightly, but his gaze suddenly stopped. A vacant chair appeared in front of him, muttering, "Disappeared." Then suddenly a robber appeared behind him. The system displayed level 19, Vulture Bandit Lord health, 6, 200 attack, 820 defense, 220 skills, curved throwing knife, stealth backstab. He activated backstab and sensed danger. Lam Uyen quietly cast activating the corpse explosion spell. He shouted loudly, "Die!" A brilliant green flame burst forth, a terrifying explosion echoed, and green smoke billowed. The Vulture Bandit Lord staggered back, coughing violently. In an instant, Lam Uyen rushed forward, his punch carrying a violent thunder straight into his chest. His gaze was sharp, gritting his teeth. This strike. As the system notification appeared, the haunting set took effect. His hand had touched the opponent's chest. He shouted, "Sending you to hell!" And the blow made the Lord scream loudly and fall down. System notification. You have killed the Vulture Bandit Lord. Lam Uyen stood firm, his fist still crackling with lightning, murmuring, "It's over." The system congratulated, "You have leveled up to level 13. The parameters displayed a bunch of level 3 dark gold attributes, dealing 20% life damage to the target, or restoring 20% life to the zombie, consuming 60 mana cooldown, 6 seconds, proficiency 20 out of 300. The level 3 golden destruction spell detonated a zombie, dealing fire damage of 80% of its life to nearby enemies, consuming 100 mana cooldown, 10 seconds, proficiency 2 out of 100. Then a scroll floated and landed in his hand. The system asked, "Confirm using the skill scroll to level up." He replied succinctly, "Yes." After completing it, he reviewed the parameters and sighed, "Not bad. Previously he used the skill scroll to raise Dark Thunder to level 3 while also upgrading the destruction spell. Regarding the zombie legion, he thought that should be enough for now. The system announced the acquisition of 130 zombie beasts. Information on the Vulture Bandit Lord appeared. Level 15. Vulture Bandit Leader Health 3, 500 Attack, 500 Defense, 100 Skills, Arcane Blade, Stealth, Undead. In Region 6, the level 19. Vulture Bandit Leader has Health 6, 200 Attack, 820 Defense, 220, and Skills, Arcane Blade, Stealth Enhanced, Undead, Poisonous Attack, along with Toxic Damage dealing 20 points. Lam Uyen frowned. After being reborn as a zombie, the Lord gained an additional toxic skill. He recalled the case of the giant wolf. After being revived, it also received a new skill. Immortal Rage, dealing 400% damage to surrounding enemies and stunning the giant beast. The Life Increase skill boosts health, while the Death Wheel increases attack and critical hit probability by 20%. He pondered and quietly hypothesized. Could being reborn as a zombie activate hidden skills?